Stream's up. Alright. So, where to start? Okay. So, I was watching Pat Stares At play Kenshi, and he just was not understanding the game. And I'm going to preface this that I'm not making this video to shit on him or anything else. This is just to be... He kept asking, why is this game fun? Why do people play Kenshi? Why are people telling me to play this? And he went in watching Seph's video, and Seph has a lot of intermediate to / advanced, like, look at all the stuff you could do in this game, because Seph is really good at explaining the potential of a game. You know, his ASCII games, like limitless sandbox options, and he was comparing it to RimWorld and other things like that. One thing you have to also understand about Kenshi is you're not getting dropped into a random world where, like, the gameplay systems are shown to you and you just play with the tools you're given. Kenshi is a relatively static world where you have to find a way to interact with things in the way that you want or even can, because there are limits to what the NPCs are even able to, like, interact with, and he didn't really find a way to even see any of their behaviors. And I'm going to get into that while starting up the tutorial. And he started a Wanderer start, so I'm going to start with that. There are advanced options that I ticked up for gameplay speed, because this is just going to be a what can you do with the possibilities of Kenshi, not a tutorial on follow my playthrough. This is a what are even the options available to me, because the game tells me literally nothing, because the game doesn't. It is so purely a sandbox that it doesn't even give you a direction of being like, start here and go. It doesn't really explain any of the systems. There's some side pop-ups that'll be like, you're knocked out, you're dying, you're starving, you're enslaved. But you really have to figure out a lot of, like, 98% of the game you have to figure out on your own. So when this loads up, we'll get into that. I also have to make a character, I guess. Oh yeah, another thing. He started as a skeleton, and if you are a new player to this game, you do not want to start as a skeleton. Skeletons have a lot of cool things about them. They have higher HP, but the downsides to being a skeleton is you don't have as many equipment slots for gear, and more largely is that they are much more expensive to heal. Biotic people, like, flesh and blood creatures in this game, regenerate over time as long as they're not bleeding. So you get your ass kicked as a skeleton and you're sitting on the sands bleeding or whatever, the only way to heal yourself is to get a repair kit, and repair kits are hard to acquire and they're expensive. So unless you have the money to go to, like, a tech workshop, which are, like, there's a couple of way stations that are the easiest places to find these things, and, like, they generally were places where, like, the tech hunters hang out. They have trade houses where you can buy them or steal them. Any place that you can buy from, you can steal from. But sometimes wandering traders have repair kits, but that's just a pain, and you don't want to do that to start with. You could potentially recruit a skeleton later to your party if you want to enjoy having a skeleton, but I think you should have a couple of characters that are established before you really worry about having a skeleton. The other advantages to a skeleton is they don't need to eat, and they have proficiency with turrets. So what you could do is when you build a base, you could just plop a skeleton on a turret, and he could stand on it forever, because he never has to leave to do anything. He could just hang up on your turret, not eating, and shooting at anything that comes to your base. And I noticed when he was doing his little thing, his chat was giving a lot of, like, too many chefs in the kitchen telling him advice. They weren't able to really lead him to what he could do. People were like, build a base. You can't build a base at the start of Kenshi. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to go too into character creation here, so we're just going to, for the sake of just being simple here, we're going to start with human, Greenlanders, we're going to start with a lady, because why not? You'll see why in a second. You should have hair, though. Hair. Sure, just have some really goofy hair. And I have a dog's climbing on me. Sure, close enough. I'm doing this really quickly. Character name. This is going to be a tutorial gameplay, so let's just make her Toriel. It's good enough for Toby Fox, it's good enough for me. So here we are. If you start the Wanderer start, you start at the hub. Quick tip too is no one bothered to tell him spacebar is the quick option to pause the game, and that lets you rotate the map and do all whatever, figure out what you want to do. So this is the hub. It's a pretty big place. You got your starter bar over here. People did give him the advice to check out the bar and recruit someone, but he had some bad RNG in the sense that you have the bar can have multiple different people spawn in it. He wants to look for Hobbs, which did not seem to spawn, and it also not seem to spawn for me right now. Hobbs is there are characters that are pretty generic starts that spawn in and out of bars from time to time, and they cost money to recruit. They cost varying degrees of money depending on how many starter stats they have. But Hobbs is not here right now. There are a couple of characters who have their own storylines to an extent, like they have their own intro quest kind of thing and dialogue, and they could usually be recruited for free. Hobbs does not seem to be here right now, so we're going to come back and check on that later. Wait, that's not Hobbs, that is Logan's, and he is. So you get your character name and their faction here as a quick tip too for people. But Hobbs isn't there right now, so we're not going to worry about that. There's a bunch of, beyond that, the hub kind of sucks as a starter town because there's no real shops. You got your bar, but all the way off to the corner here in the hub is this giant tower. Now this is a cool thing for new players. This is a hideout for the Shinobi Thieves, even though it's a giant tower. I mean, whatever. It's a stronghold, maybe. Let's say that rather than a strong hideout. So let's go over here and hang out with the Shinobi Thieves for a second. Okay. So you want to join the Shinobi Thieves, eh? So basically, he's going to tell you, I want to join the Shinobi Thieves, and you're like, cool, you can join for a fee. That's all it takes to join? And you'll be like, yeah, basically, more or less, they'd be like, if you can earn 10,000 cats, you're good enough to be a Shinobi Thief. You know, that's their barrier to entry. And then that's a little steep, and they don't care. 10,000 is the limit you want to get. And the reason you want to even join the Shinobi Thieves is, first off, this is a faction, right? They have Shinobi Thieves. Any Shinobi Thief will become ally to you if you enter this, enter their faction, sort of. You'll still be your own faction. You can build your own faction, but you will become allies to them if you pay them money, and then you get access to multiple things. Even though I haven't joined them, you could still go into their base. Usually there's a guy down here you can fence stolen goods to if you're... I mean, there's reasons to do that, but most of the time you could just go to another settlement because fences don't give you full value for your stuff. So you could just go to a different faction and sell your stuff at the maximum value you can. But they also have some thieves backpacks and other stuff you can try to get. Here, we're going to sneak right now. So one of the other benefits to being a Shinobi Thief is you get access to their little training dojo to get some basic skills. Because, let's see, stats, there you go. Now, unfortunately, no one showed this page to Pat. This is all of your stats and skills. And, these are the stats, these are skills. Okay. And this game, you level up your stats and skills in, Morrowind, or even to an extent Valheim. When you're Valheim and you're using your axes, you get more proficient at axes. You get faster at chopping trees, that kind of thing. And there are different things that contribute to what you even how these stats go up. So like if you hold, you have to. It's really annoying that it goes off of it when you do it. But let's say you go strength and then kind of scroll down here. It tells you ways to train. So really, the way you train strength is by just overloading your character with weight. You just have to fill your inventory with the heaviest crap you can find and move around. And starting out, the best skill you want is speed. So, and unfortunately, the best way to do that is to just run around in circles. But there are other things you can train too in the meantime. One of the things I don't think Pat understood and no one was able to explain to him. Here's a stat called toughness, and the way you train toughness is by getting your ass kicked. And so you were such a weak baby at the start of Kenshi that you have to train at losing before you could even dream of winning a fight, even against the starving bandits that are around the well, let's see, let's go to the map real quick. Map. Okay. So this starting region is probably one of the easier regions of the game, and you got 2 towns here. So you don't really want to leave this region. The swamp is here. Swamp is a nightmare. You don't want to be there. So you're going to be in this kind of territory. There are other things in the map that I haven't discovered yet because it's a new game, but your 2 main areas here are going to be the hub and Squin. And Squin is another place you can get a free character, which we will probably head out to later, just so that way, because my goal is to try to get this kind of done in about an hour to show you how you could start the game, and beyond that, maybe get you a party of 3, and instead of building a base, it's easier to start this game by renting a house. And you buy a house in Squin. You don't rent it. You don't have an upkeep for it. You can be like, here's $6,000. I want to live here, and then you're allowed to build within the space of that house. Now, fortunately, 2 people are up here at the same time. Also, these are not regular boxes. These are lockpicking chest things. This is how you train lockpick. So it's just to train your thing. Now, this is the sneak thing. If you're yellow, you're in range of people, but you're not being observed. If you're red, they're seeing what you're doing. So they're training. They don't seem to really care. This is me training lockpicking and sneak at the same time, because the fastest... and as soon as they spot you, though, you don't want to not be doing some shit, because they'll be they get annoyed when they spot you, and then you could kind of get ignored for a while, and they'll forget about you. Unfortunately, there's 2 of them up here right now, so that's not the greatest. But I want them to piss off for a minute, so I could get just the bare minimum of basic skills. And these dummies do different things. This one is assassination, I believe. Yes. This one lets you train the ability to knock out. Not really the vital thing we want to get right now, but this lets you sneak up on someone and just conk them on the back of the head, and you could skip an entire fight with them. So even though it's called assassination, you're not actually outright killing them. What we really want to work on is these. This is to train your melee skill, and this is just a general stat that applies to weapons. Let's see, where's melee? Melee attack, here is what you do. Now this applies to any kind of weapon attack, and then there's a totally different stat for martial arts, and then martial arts is fighting without a weapon, and you have to put a lot of time in martial arts to make it really worth it. Also, martial arts works on dodge. Dodge is not something you generally do with a weapon. Since you're not able to block with your weapon, you dodge out of the way. So these 2 stats are really about martial arts. Melee defense is about blocking, and the only way to train that is with real combat. And on that end, since we're going to lose our first fights anyway, you kind of want to get your ass kicked in your first fight. And one of the cool things you could do is this button here starts you in block mode. Basically, the block does is adds 20 to your block stat automatically. So if you're going to get your ass kicked, you might as well train defense and toughness at the same time. And when you get back into your second fight, you'll be able to block some attacks. And then once you start getting swings in, you'll be able to level up whatever weapon you're using. This caps out around 15. I don't think we'll go that far, but just to get a start at, just to have a quick start, because we're trying to get out of here fast. So now I'm blue, and they're not observing. Oh, he's observing me again. Let's try to get to the corner of the assassination thing, just so we're doing something. I'm probably gonna end up fast forwarding to nighttime if they're not gonna clear out at any point here. But might as well get a couple points in assassination, because why not? And also, once I don't think you're getting XP for stealth while you're blue. Red might be giving you XP. We can actually even see that even. So let's see. Stealth. Stealth is a skill, or your stealth? Thievery. Stealth. See, we've already gotten 32% of a level through stealth, and we could actually watch that tick up in this menu. So really, the gameplay of Kenshi is get good at skills, and we could just piss off doing this for a minute. Are we unobserved? But anyway, those are going up. Now we're being unobserved. We're going to be a little risky, fast forward, because I don't want this to take forever. Got people coming, so we're going to slow down. Okay, cool. They don't seem to really be caring. When they actually come and they yell at you, and they say, like, this is not for public use, if they're not actually going to actually come and bother you about it, because they eventually will kick your ass and throw you out, but you want to limit how annoyed they are. But this saves us 10,000 cats from the get-go, and it's a lot easier to... Oh, they're coming. See there, don't make me warn you again. It's easier to hide over here, and also lockpicking will be more useful for... Oh, are you going to assassination train? Well, time to build stealth. They won't bother you as long as you're not interacting with their tools, so moving back and forth while stealth raises stealth. And moving is also helpful just for general. I don't think that's really enough to really do significant amounts of agility, but we can pretend. Where's athletics? Athletics has gone up a bit, so whatever. Almost athletics too. So we're training a bunch of skills this way, and this is really just to give you a hyper start of why would I just go stand in the desert, get my ass kicked? I'm going to do that anyway, yeah, because it's faster to do it this way. But we have enough money to buy supplies when we need it. So all we really need to start out with is bandages and food. And we can grab that when we need it. People don't rob your money, but they can rob your backpack. And even though he was a skeleton and the starving bandits attacked him, he was like, well, they can't eat me, why do they want to do that? Starving bandits aren't cannibals. They weren't attacking him because he was a flesh sack, or since he was a robot. They attack you to loot through your inventory, and if you have meat or any kind of food in here, they would yoink that from you. I have that off just for sake of expedience, because I want to get through this in an hour of just being like, what can you do? How do I play this game? And I know that this is maybe not the most exciting thing, but this is really just to get us started. Now, they're both over there, and unfortunately, I can't get to the melee training, which is what I want. Can we get to the lockpicking? Because this is a better use of our time. Go downstairs, please. Cool. Oh, no. They spotted me. Alright. He's spotting me? Or is that a she? Oh, doesn't matter. Not entirely relevant. I'm trying to get through here fast. They're still spotting me up there. How about in this corner? Well, we'll move around until we find a spot. They're doing lockpicking training, even though it looks like they're not centered on it. Not being observed. Okay. So let's see where we're at. So now we're at melee attack 2. And it cost us nothing. And like I said, we're training stealth. Stealth is a great time-saving skip tool because stealing is the fastest way to get any resource. You don't have to steal to advance in this game. It's definitely the fastest way you can advance in the game. And Kenshi's a long burn game. When I'm saying you're saving yourself time, I'm like, it's getting you started. You're getting gear. Gear doesn't really, isn't the hugest advancement in your character that it could be, because really the strength of your character is your skills, and also these stats. Like strength and dexterity. Dexterity is for leveling up your weapon attack speed sort of thing. And without skills like that, like if you just want to pick up a heavy weapon, you will be attacking so slow that you won't even hit anything with it because you have weak baby arms and you can barely lift that cannon, you know, even though it's going to be a big like broadsword basically. So you want to start off with what you can manage. Oop, you're hiding that way. Yeah, get out of here, please. Come on, get him in. Alright, let's just speed up time. Well, I guess we'll work on lockpicking if we can get spotted. Cool. Oh, spotted me. Fortunately, assassination is a thing. If I was playing a real game, I would just max out everything to 15 before dealing with going that. But let's say let's set ourselves a target of 5 just to get out of here, hopefully. Cool, I'm unobserved. Alright. Maybe not even 5, maybe 3, because this is still taking a while. Oop. Spotted. So we're back to, this is not for public use, that's your warning 1. So the warning level has already reset. Even though I'm trying to fast forward it, like we've been up here for in-game hours. And for whatever reason, they don't care about this naked lady just hanging out here. Ooh. And I wanted to be female for another reason, so we'll get to that later in the game. I'm going to talk about like things as they come up, than rather me just ramble about things that have no visual example. So I'm really trying to get past this part. Yeah, I might even cut that there because we got melee 2. If we get melee 3, I think that's enough to go fight a starving bandit and get our ass kicked. We can also check if Hobbs is there because having another character just increases your ability to do anything. You can make money faster, you can hold more things. You're training their skills as you're training your skills. It's the best use of your time, is to train more than one person if you can. Oh, this person doesn't care. Cool. Let's wait for our next warning. And then we will leave. Alright, time to leave. So we got enough basic training for now. This is mainly just to be a blueprint of things you could do. That's the goal of this little session here. So we're going to start with that. There's no reason for me to go all the way to level 15 on something. That's just tedious for everyone to watch. If you want to do that, you're welcome to do that. Or you could just get a couple levels to start with and come back with your 10,000 cats. And then you could stay on that until the cows come home. Even though it says it's to train for level 15, if you sat on it long enough, you'll get a huge drain on the amount of XP, amount of time it takes to gain that XP, but you could train it past your skill cap if you felt like it. Alright, I think... Alright, you double click to also focus your camera, by the way. Let's check if Hobbs is in the bar. If he's not, we're going to head to Squin anyway, and if we get fights on the way to Squin, even better. Hobbs. Hobbs. It's not Hobbs. Should have like a little rack on his head. Is this person a cheap person to hire? 6,000 cats? No way. I'm looking for like someone who's like 500 tops. Alright, these guys are different factions and guards. Alright, Hobbs is not here right now. Let's grab some food because why not? And some bandages actually because we don't have any tools or whatnot. I love the shop. Cool. Let's see. Sure, let's grab a meat. And some basic bandages. Grab those. That'll be enough to really get us going for a while. So open your map. Right click on Squin. That's a quick way to travel. You don't have to... He had a lot of trouble telling like which way is north. You can just pick a direction on the map to go. From the map, and then for the most part it's good at like it knows like there's that you can't see them, but there were like kind of auto-pathing roads. Unfortunately, oh, here's another way. This is another node. Might as well grab this while we're here actually. Do you want to come back? Cool. You don't have to mine. Mining is the way to advance the game really without stealing or fighting bandits, or having the guards fight bandits. Really the way you get past not being able to fight things yourselves is to just have guards do it for you. But This also levels up your skills. There are a skill, like, this mining is slow right now, but this is leveling up. Is it work? I believe it's like work or something. Trades, or is it laboring? This levels up laboring. Don't think that, unfortunately, this should, in my opinion, give strength. There are mods that fix this, but mining this way does not get you strength, which is pretty dumb. But what it does give you is ore, and ore has a weight to it. It's not the heaviest thing you could acquire in the game, but why not? Just drag that over. One thing to note is, in default inventory, items do not stack. To stack inventory, you need a certain class of backpack. The lightweight backpacks that don't hamper your stats, because backpacks lower your stats because they increase your encumbrance, like trader backpacks, they can stack goods. So if you want to like have a pack mule person that just offload a bunch of crap, you need to have a trader backpack. I generally like having like the small thieves backpacks on my main characters just to give them some storage. One thing that's also cool is the kind of like this little side thing here is like one of the aspects of like having an AI director. And is it shift click or yeah? So if you shift click, you can have medic be a job, and these are the character presets here. And this would be like, this will have an order list of priority for stuff. So medic will be like, oh, okay, anyone in my group is hurt and needs patching up. Cool. That's the first thing I gotta focus on. They won't stop fighting to do that unless you like make them disengage. But they will check on like what do I have to do right now? What is the priority for me? And like medic is a thing that they'll do. So you generally want everyone on medic because why not? There are skills in, is it medicine or is it sciences? Field medic. This is like influences how quickly you bandage up, and like so even if you don't have a big like fancy med kit, even just the bandage stuff will eventually do the job, and you'll get more proficient at doing it. So we should be fine with those. Alright, that's about all we can hold. Well, we can arrange. Get some more in here. We want the weight, so that way we boost some strength. And even just running to the next town will increase our athletics. Your athletics increases, and it can inflect your... let's see, where's athletics? Here, athletics. There you go. I'm trying to get to it without tabbing. Oh. There you go. Athletics affects your maximum run speed, and you really need this if you want to leave the starter areas, because there are wildlife like the long necks, which are basically just these like giant lizard ostriches, bird things that they are fast. They will run you down and they will peck you apart. They are terrifying, or big things. That's what they're called. I was blanking on the name there for a minute. Alright, well, that's some weight, starter weight. Alright, now we can go to Squin. You don't have to do that. I'm only doing that mainly as this is a way you could advance. You don't have to advance this way. I'm not even really doing that for the money, because it's not going to really even be that much. You will have to do this a bunch of times, and there's ways to automate that, and if you have more characters, you can offload more ore. But we're mainly doing this so we boost strength. So we have a full backpack of ore, and now the strength is going up. That means we'll hit harder when we hit. But, as I said, we're on block. You will not even attack while block. You're trading your 20 block skill for the ability to block better. And we don't really have range, we don't have to worry about that. This is a jobs button for even like holding on to your different things. Passive, you could be like, okay, don't even engage in a fight, which can be useful for certain things. Taunt like makes this character the tank, and there are certain weapons that give you kind of bonuses to defense, like which is generally like the saber class. So if you have a big Shek guy in your party and you give them a saber, you can put them on taunt. It's not the same as blocking, so they will still attack, and they will try to draw aggro to them, and other characters who are faster can get hits, because hits will make people get staggered, your animations can get interrupted, and that's how like combat is exploitable. When we get to a fight, we'll get more into that, but the way you kind of cheese combat is just moving out of the way of attacks, physically like moving your character out of the way of attacks, and that's a thing you could do. It becomes very micro energy to do that, so I generally don't. I kind of want, for the main part, maybe I'll do one character to do that to start with a fast weapon so they can do interrupts. And then you have your heavies, just go in and get hit. But, getting hit increases toughness. Doing hits increases other stats. Fast weapons generally increase dexterity. Like, there are different things with cut and blunt for different stats, but generally, rule of thumb, fast weapons hit that. Strength weapons are the heavy weapons. Alright, so these are the guards. I'm just going to stop because they're going to chase me down anyway. They want to do their little gate check, or did they just fail to check me? Okay. Nope, they fit. There is definitely some jank in the game. The engine runs like shit. I'm going to preface this also by saying that maybe Kenshi 1 isn't the game for you, but Kenshi 2 is going to be on Unreal, so hopefully it'll run better. So that's something to look forward to for me, honestly. Alright, so this is the town of Squin. Town of Squin has a bunch of different shops. This is where the local police kind of are. You could turn bounties in here, and generally they'll accept either people from the different factions or a couple of wanted criminals. There'll be a thing up here if a person has a bounty and who they're wanted by, and then if they have any kind of bounty, you can turn them in here. This is the armor shop. It's got a little picture here. We're probably going to I'll try waiting for night before I try stealing anything. So this is I think this is an inn. So I'm just checking to see if anyone's here, if that's important. No. Oh, here we go. Here's Ruka. So here's an example of a character that you can talk to that has a bit of story forward for onboarding them into the party. You're looking at my horns flat skin. Saruka is a former Shek warrior. She has had her horns removed. We'll get into that, I guess. And you'll be like, no? It's like, good, don't. So, long story short, I'm not going to read all the dialogue because it's going to take more time. The general story is the Shek are a warrior culture. Think Krogans from Mass Effect or Klingon from Star Trek. They pride themselves on their combat ability. They have extra bones outside of their skin that makes them more durable than the average person who is just essentially, naked and their bodies are harder. They have more health. They have slight defense kind of thing. So he has all of his horns. Her horns are cut. So she went to battle and she had the unfortunate dishonor of surviving the battle, but the rest of her people in the fight didn't. So they decided that she must have been a coward or a traitor, so they cut her horns off themselves because she was dishonored. And cutting off your horns is a signal in their society that you can't be a warrior. So more or less you can talk to her and you can kind of convince her that since she doesn't have an outlet to be a warrior with her people, why don't you be a warrior with me? Does it matter if you're not accepted by them, if you can live the life you want without them? So you give her the option of joining you to be a warrior again. So I'm not gonna. You could change her appearance somewhat. I'm not going to. If you change her name, I think it bugs up some of the storyline of her character, sort of, in that she doesn't actually have any real quest to do it. But the other storied characters will converse and banter back and forth with each other while they're in your party, and that stuff is cool. It's all flavor text, but you might as well have her there. So now that you have a second person, you can assign her a job. I don't think she has any other tools. So she has some starter gear. Plank is very heavy, and she doesn't even really she has some stats for using it. Let's see. See, this is a heavy weapon. She's got 10 stats of that, but her strength is 4, and her dexterity is whatever, right? Unfortunately, she can't really swing this as fast as you want. So we're going to replace that soon, but it's too long for it to go into our inventory, so I'm just going to leave it on there for now. But she will definitely get hit before she gets to land a blow on it while we're starting out. But anyway, to start with, we're going to teach her a couple of, well, not teach her, we're going to give her a couple of job things. We're going to get medic on top, and then we're going to have her do bodyguard. Bodyguard is she'll fight anyone who fights me, and she stays close. That way I don't even have to really micromanage what she's doing. She will follow me around and hang out and do whatever. Not going to be useful for when we are robbing the place, but it's not nighttime, so we're not going to worry about that. In the meantime, we're really trying to advance our character growth here. So we're going to pick Ruka up because that's added weight. And so I got a full backpack of ore, and I got that. Strength is going up. And you could kind of run back and forth just through town, and this is pretty much as safe as you could be. If a fight starts happening at the town gates, you can come by and you can steal stuff and you can sell it. And that's a quick way to advance, and you can also pocket whatever gear you want. Most of the gear the bandits have is crap. Sometimes there'll be a captain with, so gear has, like, a different, okay, so you can see above manufacturer unknown, the text is kind of grayed out, so I can't read it. But these are stats about the weapons. There will be like stuff where like we go to shop where you can see like model, refit, blade. There's like is a descriptor of what the like rarity of the weapon is, what the quality of the weapon is, and then like it goes up from there and be like MK2s, MK3s, and then there'll be like model of katans. The best weapon class in this game are very, very specific types of weapon. Like every weapon has a like Mato is what the class is called, and they're held by unique NPCs. So it's not something you're going to find. But as you could craft the weapons yourself, so like weaponsmith here is a trade. If you get good at that, you can work on increasing the quality of stuff your characters produce. So you can get some really good like model of Catan, whatever, far advanced stuff you don't really have to worry about right now, but like you could see the stat differences comparing it from weapon to weapon. Are they fighting or are they just dropping someone off? You gotta look for, you can see numbers in the distance usually is where you will notice that someone is fighting. But now we've got 5 strength. I'm also trying to kill time for night so I can show thievery. We're at fast forwarded time anyway. You can't fast forward time any faster than this. But we're doing something productive while we're waiting for that. Conversely, we could find some more. Well, I'll just drop it if it comes to me stealing stuff first, because I want to be able to wear gear. This is an event. So, as opposed to being like interactive PCs, Kenshi is kind of a reactive world with a couple of emergent events. And unfortunately, in the Pat's gameplay, he didn't get to see many of those. So I'm going to try to point out like where you can onboard some of those things. And he was talking about Seth's video and how Okram, like you have to, like, you can't skip prayer day or you're going to get your ass kicked by the Holy Nation. Things like that don't happen unless you build a base. Just having a base out of a town, because you could buy one of these, and generally the one I buy is not that one with the tent. Or is it that one? That might be that one. Yeah. No, it's got the tanks on it. Which is the one with... Let's see. Yeah, maybe this was the one. That's more or less the same. Just fighting with the camera here. Let's get rid of this box for a second. Is that the one I usually start with? It might be this. Anyway, so if you look here, you can see that this building is for sale. That one's 19,000 cats. I thought some of them were cheaper. Is it the one that's ruined? Maybe it's the one that's ruined. There's a ruined house in here somewhere in Squin. So yeah, this one's 7,000. But it's beat to shit, right? you can what you need to do to fix these is there's like building materials, and the shops in this town and outside of it can sell it. You can get build materials and like metal plates. You can go to the stores and you can buy those things, and you can fix this up, and it just generally becomes one of these, just without some of these extra dongles on it. And you could buy that for 7,000. And keep in mind, 7,000 here versus spending 10,000 to join Shinobi Thieves. Having a building in town allows you to build like research facilities and tech tree stuff in here. You can build your own beds, so that way you don't have to go to the inn. If you go to the inn, which is the inn has beds up here. These beds, you rent them. And I forget if there's a rate. There might be a rate, but generally you want to try to get on a bed that is up. There's like sleeping mats. I don't know why that says it's public, but you go here, you just automatically sleep in the bed and you get charged like $75 or something. So you could make those things, and that's how you do big healing, because even though you're patching your wounds with medic stuff, you have to really sleep to really advance your healing, and otherwise you'll be just recovering for like weeks. And one of the things about being a skeleton, which he was playing in his playthrough, there's a different kind of bed for skeletons that is fairly advanced to even acquire and takes research, where it's like a repair bed. Because on top of even just doing repairs, without a mechanical like workstation bed kind of thing, skeletons will lose max HP over time until they can get, maintenance. You're gonna do your bag check? Or no, you're not talking to me. Okay. So sometimes they fail to check you. What they're checking for when they check your equipment is drugs. So if you don't have drugs, you might as well just let them check you. Because why not? But anyway, that's a way to train strength. Let's see if we can get a fight before that, because this is taking a while. So we're going to put Ruka down. And she'll follow us still. One of the things you could do is, this is the ability to have your party members move at the same time, at the same speed. So your faster characters will leave your other people in the dust, even if you select to move them together. And you have to have them both selected for this option to work. This run option is move at your fastest speed. See, Ruka is faster than us because she's been a warrior before we met her. Oh, we had a fight over here that we missed, unfortunately. That must have been what the guards were doing, because the guards will throw people in jail if, they need to. Unfortunately, if there were anyone here, we could pick their stuff. I'm just trying to see if there's another copper node. Okay. So here's another node. Let's have Ruka do this. See if we turn her jobs off. Will she listen to this if I tell her to do that and I move to there, or will she follow me to town regardless? I'm going to sell her ore because we're getting ready for night. And see if we can... I doubt we'll find the kind of backpack we're looking for, but we can sell that for now. I'm mainly just doing this so that we're doing something while waiting for night. Fortunately, some of this stuff just... Kenshi's a game that loves to take its time. People might not be willing to spend the time it takes to, really get into Kenshi and start. I know Pat refunded the game, so he's not going to be playing this game, but I'm making this for people who might want to enjoy the game and got a very poor impression from Pat's video. So here we go, Thieves backpack. This is the kind of backpack we want. Fortunately, I believe it's more money than we have. How many cats? I got 2,000 cats. So we can't buy this for him, but maybe we could steal it. Another thing you could get is you get a sleeping bag. Sleeping bag allows you to build a bed outside and you can rest. But without a bag, I'm not really going to worry about that right now. And see, we got some money from that, but we got barely shit. And one of the things you also want a backpack from is if you have food in your backpack, people in your party will just grab food from you to eat it. There's really no way to just force people to eat. You just have to have hungry people have access to food, and then they will kind of just take a chomp on it. and they will just get the food value of that food and won't actually be able... Oop. Are these goats? Well, goats are a chance for us to... Are they belonging to anyone, or are they... Okay, these are wild goats. So we're going to get our asses kicked. We're going to fight these goats, because it's the chance to fight. It doesn't matter what we're fighting. We want to fight. Throw or drop back on. Did I actually... No, I didn't on order. Okay. Let's attack goats unprovoked, and we're going to get our asses kicked in. But this is how you get better at Kenshi. So we got our clangs. It's hard to tell because goats don't have the animations that people's do, but you hear a clang like that, you block an attack. And there are kind of there are mods that change this, but there are essentially a limit of attacker slots, and I think it's like 3 or something on default, but people generally like increase that way up to like 5. You want to throw a swing at them because they're not... Okay, there you go. I want to be blocking on both people so that we're advancing in some melee defense. We're definitely going to lose eventually. It'll just take a while. So we're fast forwarding through time. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to get beat unconscious. It'll happen. It'll take... I don't know why it's taking some time. Where Ruka's going. Get back in there, please. Cool. See, the one advantage here with heavy weapons is heavy weapons hit multiple targets. So see all those green numbers, she was doing big damage, but as soon as she dropped her guard, they all just swam on her, and she was already wounded. We're both messed up, but, you know, this is how you get better at Kenshi. And for our next fight, we'll be a lot stronger. Not strong enough to fight, like, a town guard or anything, but we probably will be pretty close to fighting the starving bandits soon. And maybe we'll also go back and we'll grab Hobbs and take a rest at that bar. I mean, party of 3, definitely... Oh, I'm not on tutorial. Alright, cool. So, got whooped up a bit. Now... some of us are already dying. This is unfortunate. Hopefully we will wake up before that. I mean, there's just a risk you have of... Generally, you go unconscious and you wake up wounded. It's like you need to get, like, these all have different health amounts, and negative numbers are what push you into unconsciousness. So it does not... I don't know if we're even waking up. We just need one of these characters to wake up so that we could patch wounds. Unfortunately, it says they're both dying, which isn't great. So I guess being hit by multiple goats at the same time kind of created this problem. Well, we'll wait it out and hope that we get something here. I really don't think we're waking up, so this sucks. We're moving at max speed, so... it would have been better to fight the starving bandits, but because the goats were there, I picked them. And fortunately, when you want to fight, you can't find one, the one you want. And Ruka is dead. Okay. Unfortunate. Did it autosave any time in the recent history? I want to keep the ball rolling here. I don't stream Kenshi because I like to save scum anyway, but I'm just trying to advance the game and showing stuff. Alright. So, we're getting our ass kicked. We're back here getting our ass kicked by goats. We need to get the hell out of here because we are not going to win against goats. Let's see if the guards will care. I mean, sometimes, like, the guards care more about fighting bandits. Okay, cool. The guards will help fight the goats. Because they are going to fight the goats, we will end up actually trying to attack, so that way we can get some fighting XP, because the guards are really strong. They can fight now. It's cool. Where did you end up? someone ended up with a broken leg. That's why they're back here. So the physics kind of get wonky with that. That leg is busted to shit. Ruka is now unconscious. But here you go. Here's the difference between dying and unconscious. You have a timer for how long it takes you to wake up. So that's happening. Here. I overrid her movement with her precept to medic. So we're going to tell her to medic just so that way she's patching up. Now you... Oop, leg gave out a little bit because it's bleeding. Did you finish healing your wound, or did I... You definitely did not. Here. Are you trying to heal Ruka? Because you're not doing what I'm telling you. Well, I guess it's trying to get to Ruka first, but because she's not patching up her leg, she keeps falling over. Well, have it your way. I mean, I don't know why if I take medic off, will you frickin' heal yourself first? Because if you can't... You don't put on your airbag before, you know, assisting others, you're not going to get anywhere. So there, now they'll do that. Now you could have your medic job back. And you'll get there faster. So sometimes you have to fight with the quirks of Kenshi. But hey, look, we ended up leading these to the guards. That's how you could do that. That's a much better way to improve the situation than I did it initially. So she's patching up Ruka's wounds. These are Ruka's wounds. A thing to note... Oh no, they're going to claim all of the goats before... Thing to note about animals, if you pull anything from an animal, you are killing them, because I just skinned this alive, essentially. Oh no, it didn't go into my inventory, shit. Let's take jobs off medic again, because I don't want to fight with that. Okay, so we got that inventory stuff. Now we could sell these for pretty much more than we could get with the ore. Is it not transferring? Am I dropping it on the floor again? Shit. I'm trying to transfer this to my bag. Also, you can make a cooking fire for the build menu anywhere to cook this raw meat, and then we could have more than enough food. We're going to trade with Ruka because we could use her as a backpack for now. You could use people you beat up as a backpack too. Shift clicking doesn't seem to be working for some reason, so I'll just move that over. You also get proficient at cooking as a skill. You can pretty much level up anything as a skill. I know this isn't neat, but you know what? There's a button that arranges it, so what does it matter? So we're going to sell the hides when we get a chance. We have plenty of meat. Let's just grab any hides we can get. Why is it dropping? I don't know why it's dropping it on the floor. But, you know, throw it back in the inventory anyway. Arrange. Sorry, baby goat. As far as animal taming goes, you generally buy them from like animal handlers, and you could start training your own dogs or goats or bulls or Garo or whatever, like the kind of like more kind of like weird dog cows. Saruka's messed up. She's all beat up. She's unconscious. But, you know, we patched her wounds, so this kind of different off-color color is that this is patched, but it's healing. So this has the capacity to heal. So what we could do instead is, we also don't want her to leave, so we're take off her jobs. We're going to throw her in an inn bed, and she can rest and recuperate there while we go back and check if Hobbs is recruitable. So I gotta remember which one's the inn. Sorry for my camera work. Here we go. We need to go to the inn. Also, I guess since it's nighttime now, we could also try, oh, I still am on Ruka, that's why, that's where our problem is. Now we're carrying Ruka and a bunch of hides, so we're going slow. We'll sell the hides to the guy here, see how much money we end up with. So, I mean, we need 7,000 to get that starter building, so we're already kind of halfway there. Well, not halfway, but we're getting there. It's really more than 7,000 because we also need the building materials. So maybe we'll say like we're a quarter of the way there. But when we steal stuff, we'll see if we can find something of value, and maybe we'll sell it at the hub. rather than Squid, because you can't sell anything you've stolen in the town where you stole it. Let's talk to him and sell the hides. Yeah, I'm here to trade, whatever. Buy the shit. So now we're at 4,000, and that was way faster than mining a bunch of bullshit. Do you have any art? No. I could buy food from you, but I don't have any medic stuff. Not really worried about food right now. Let's throw Ruka in a bed. And I took off her stuff because I don't want her, as soon as she regains consciousness... Here you go. I'm sorry, 100 cats to rest in a bed. But this is a better bed than these. I don't want her to immediately get out of bed and follow me around, because the game forces you to fight the AI. And so I rented the bed. The bed lasts until you decide to wake up. So you might as well rest a full if you're renting a bed. Alright. Don't really want to make a lot of competing saves here, but because we're going to do stupid shit and steal stuff. Temp. Tutorial. Let's see. Let's try to go... This is the armor shop. Yeah. Armor shop has a pretty cool layout. Might as well. So we have to see if we're being observed before we even do anything. We're in the light, which we got here. You know, your little light token. The regards here. Alright. We're being observed by this guy. We don't want to be here then. We will go to the other side. See if we can find a better weapon, maybe. Don't be daylight before I get to the store, please. That's the backpack shop. Where's the weapon store? Alt highlight stuff. So let's just do it this way. It's in... Oh, here we go. This was the weapon store. I passed it because I'm a moron. We might still be able to get here through it fast enough. Alright, not being observed. Now, there is unfortunately the lock on this is too hard to attempt, which is why I really wanted to try to get some skills from the Shinobi Thieves and doing the lockpick, but it wasn't enough. Did we even... I thought I raised it at least a little bit while I was doing that, but did I not actually finish the skill, thievery? So lockpicking got halfway to level 2. Being at level 1 is unfortunate. I don't know, maybe there's nothing else we can actually lockpick. You have to be able to lockpick a door to really be able to steal efficiently. Well, they're opening up. Maybe we can try to get lucky stealing stuff. You also have a passive, like, kind of like one of your thievery skills is even like your ability to get noticed. Just the thievery stat in general. And the easiest way to raise this is to pick up stuff that is already like out in the environment inside a building. Here. If you press Alt, you'll see like these things. If you could pick up these without being observed, you just pick them up. If you go to a container, here, let's see if we can. I mean, looking doesn't matter as long as I don't take. See, like, your stealing chance is above shoddy grade here. This is part of the thing where I was talking about with, like, the item grades. Stealing chance of 30 is the chance you can just yoink that without anyone noticing. As long as I'm not being observed, I can grab something from any of the stuff that's red. Let's see if we can... Are you still resting? No, goddammit, she got up. This is why I didn't want her to get up, and I took off her job thing. Alright. You hold there. They might be able... having another person helps kind of distract people from messing around on you. If any of these got locks on them... Here. See if we can get a better chance to steal. We're blue. These are empty, great. We want to try to get behind this wall, I think. So now we're cutting line of sight. Oh, here's a repair kit. But still, that's 30% chance to steal. Not the greatest. Let's try this locker. We have not trained any thievery skills, so unfortunately this is riskier than it needs to be. We want to try to get into one of these things too. This box. So this box has gear. So you got standard grade is really your default, and high grade is above that. See if we can take the pants without being... Nope. So we only had a 30% chance of success. Stealing makes you wanted. Pretty sure that we'll end up with a bounty, which sucks, which is why I would save scum this if you're trying to quick start. And they're already beating up Ruka. So yeah, we tried dumb shit. We didn't have the stats to support it, so... But that is a way stealing is done. You could re-roll at night, you could go back and you could learn lockpicking, so you could come up here while people are sleeping, which we weren't able to do because I didn't train lockpicking enough. But that is how you could do those things. Alright, take off all your jobs. You stay in bed. Jesus Christ. Alright. So instead, we're just going to go to the hub and we're going to try to recruit hubs. Because this is just to show you things you could do. And we're injured, but whatever. You're still gaining stats. Show them your gear, whatever. They finally woke up long enough to do that. Now keep in mind, this is above base stats, and we still got our asses kicked easily. And we probably would always get kicked around by 12 goats. Numbers in Kenshi are generally a bigger advantage than having just one strong character. Because you have more people to get interrupts, more people to just always be swinging. But when you're really strong in terms of stats, you are blocking more, you can kind of get out of the way, you can kind of just swing before they can get to you, and they will get knocked down, they will stagger, whatever you gotta do, they will be interrupted from really getting to mess with you. Oh, here we go. We got bandits. Unfortunately, we're already hobbled up, so we're gonna go back to block, because we're not gonna win this. We're not getting away either. Okay. But, you know, toughness is now 5. Toughness increases the threshold of how long you could stay conscious while getting your ass kicked, so that's nice. But we're at the recovery coma, so recovery coma is you've already gone through like the stage of unconscious, you're in the process of waking up. And these wounds are healing. The good thing about fighting starving bandits is they all use blunt weapons, so you're not getting cutting damage, you're not getting a bleed. The chance of you dying or losing a limb is very low, because if your arm or leg or whatever, like this leg is fucked, even though it's patching, it's at -33. If you get too much damage, you will just lose a limb, and then you'll have to replace it. There are places you could go to get replacement limbs. We won't see it on the map yet, but generally somewhere like around those areas, we'd have to just run around until you spot stuff. But the hive, like, I want to quote say their villages, but like where like the bug people live, the hive, they sell the most basic kind of prosthetic. And their feet are kind of just like little spikes, so their like leg prosthetics are essentially robotic peg legs. Like they're like with a door stopper on the bottom of it. It's not a foot, it's not a real good prosthetic for a person. So even though you could have a leg to stand on, it won't be as good as your normal leg. Whereas if you get a high grade prosthetic that is basically just a skeleton's leg or something, like there are different classes of prosthetic, they will eventually like get to the point where like replacing your limb replaces it, like the health bar of that limb with a robotic leg, and then that gives you like being kind of like a hybrid skeleton kind of class, in the way that robotic limbs for even on your characters, if you're augmenting them with replacement limbs, don't heal naturally. So then you need repair kits, and then you need the special beds that, you know, help keep your HP topped up. So you could just replace the leg too. So that's a fun thing of if like you have a bunch of your arms are replaced and they go down during a fight because you got injured or whatever. You can just pull a spare arm from your bag and socket it on while time is paused. And that's a fun real like life hack you could do with that. It's one of the things you can do in Kenshi. On the topic of arms, so you have weapon 1 and weapon 2. Weapon 2 is generally kind of like you want something small and one-handed here. And you can have whatever you want on weapon 1, but thing to note, if you have a big heavy weapon, if you fight indoors, you automatically get a penalty, because it's like, oh, what if like playing with the ceiling kind of thing. It's like if you see a guy with a big sword in a movie or whatever, and they're swinging and they're getting it caught on the environment, you need something small so that you can fight efficiently indoors. So if you are fighting indoors, it will prompt to use that. Also, if your weapon takes 2 hands and your one arm is fucked, then you will go down to your second weapon, otherwise you will be punching. And if you are a weapon fighter who has not trained martial arts, you want a backup weapon. So that's why there's 2 weapon slots. That's a cool tip there for you. But you're still in recovery coma. Alright, you're awake now, right? Your only stat left is hunger, so we could have Ruka pick up Toriel. Let's do it this way. So now she's moving. And we could have her pick her up and then have her look for hubs. And we could also just toss Toriel in a bed while we're there. The money you're spending on recovering is really money you're investing in training your toughness. So don't feel too bad about that. Have her patch her up. She can get some medic skill too. Also, as soon as it's patched, the sooner it's recovering. Cool. Pick her up. Cool. Go to the hub. Double click on that to get back to view. It'll eventually find its way. Pathing isn't always the greatest. The engine also just sometimes geometry fucks up and you kind of have to reset it. There is some jank in Kenshi, but there really is a good game here for people to, sink some time into and enjoy. I'm making this in defense of there are things you could do to enjoy this game. I think people should play this game. Or, wait for Kenshi 2, because Kenshi 2 is probably, it's going to be on, frankly, a better engine. So, hopefully it'll look better, it'll run better. Like, loading times of Kenshi sucks. I would almost say that I would argue that this is a large game, and you would have to fit it on a solid state drive to have fast loading times. I'm not currently running this on a solid state, so every time you change areas, there's pretty significant loading times. And when you have a squad of 20 or more people and you're bouncing between your base here or whatever, and then go over here to the swamp to do trading and buy drugs and hash, because different places have different things of interest that you want to do, and you want to explore the map. You could buy research books to advance the tech tree, but there are certain things that are like lost towers or whatever, or like armories or libraries that are defended, or ancient ruins where you could find the more advanced science books, because you'd have to like find like old world research stuff to really be able to be like, okay, well, this is how I learned about robotics. This culture that's lost technology just isn't gonna be able to learn how to build robotic limbs on their own, because you could build your own robotic limbs. You don't have to go to a store. It's much easier to just get the money to buy it, but it's fine. You can do that. Alright, let's check out the bar. The bar also has some tents on there. Let's see, is Hobbs here today? I am not seeing Hobbs. We got Logan again instead of Hobbs. Yeah, 6,000 cats, not gonna happen. He's a bar thug. Right. What do you do? This person that you could talk to, I think, is... Yeah. There are like faction reps that you could talk to that you could kind of like buy apologies for sometimes. Here was the squad thing. So they're different factions. There's more than this. These are just people I've interacted with. Generally, bandits are always negative to you, so like they will attack you on sight if you're. Let's talk about this while we're putting Toriel in bed. You don't have any jobs selected? Okay. We can let time pass now while I'm talking about this. So there are different ninja factions, you know, the outlaws, hounds, mercenary, whatever. Shek Kingdom is a pretty broad thing. Shinobi Thieves is the people you would buy your faction to, so spending 10,000 cats puts you into an ally state with them. And there are very hard and selective ways to, like, improve a faction opinion of you, like healing their wounded, although if you mess them up, it's kind of like a net zero. So you could kind of patch people up and then get out of there before they're awake. You could sell people to other factions after you're knocking them out to get some rep with them and lose it with others. Theoretically, you could also join people into slavery, but there are, like here, the slave traders. If they come across you while you're wounded in the desert, they will sell you into slavery, and then you have a whole process of either escaping or having other people come and help break them out. That could be a pain in the butt. Tech Hunters is a group of people that raid the ancient ruins for the science books I was talking about earlier. Alright. So, Hobbs isn't here, she's recovering, we should have Ruka be doing something. Well, you know, Ruka can learn to steal crap from the training from the Shinobi Thieves, I should say. Sheks aren't the greatest at learning thievery skills, but if you just brute force your way into stuff, you will figure it out eventually. Your racial leanings increase, like, have a... here, is there... Can you see that stat? I don't know. When you're making a character and you see that there's different racial leanings to, like, the growth of stats, that's what they're talking about. But you can just try to go up here and train. Because even though Ruka is an experienced warrior, her melee attack is not 15. I would really rather be stealing with Toriel if possible, so I don't even feel like it's necessary to lockpick train with Ruka, but she's recovering her leg, might as well be doing something. Yeah, I don't want to be observed doing something I don't really need. Now, he says he's pissed off, but I'm not being observed at the moment, so... Stop. Oh. Just work on stealth a little bit here. Being observed is at least a way to raise stealth. This is probably not. This is raising stealth. So... Hopefully also in the morning Hobbs will be in the front store. I don't know why it's been unlikely to find Hobbs there at the hub sometimes. I've generally... It used to seem like I would always spot Hobbs there, and now sometimes he's just not there. He's like the default first party member, so I don't know why it's not there. There's no good explanation for it. It's just bad luck, I guess. Eventually, he should get one of the slots for those tables, and you could talk to him, and he'll say whatever crazy shit, and then be like, sure, we'll go hunt the monsters, man. And then he immediately forgets about it, because your onboarding story is really the largest portion of a storied character's story. Cool, you don't care that I'm here? Awesome. Now, she is a much better stat for melee than I am, so this takes longer even though it's not up at her cap yet. Alright. That being said, Toriel's almost healed, so let's get out of here. You can also go to set your stuff from here. You don't have to have them be on there. So she should come back and find Toriel. Let's get up to like 98, and then it should heal up before we find any trouble. Do we have any inventory to sell now? You know, let's grab some more food since we're here. Have the cats on us, why not? Floor one. I don't want to steal, thanks. Theoretically, we could have the money to buy a weapon, I guess, but not the greatest option to change right now. Do you have... Okay, I'm just being blind. I should buy another medipack. Cooked vegetables. Just buy some fish. It's pretty cheap. So here you go. We got that grayed out. Model reflated blade is kind of like your go-to replacement weapon. I don't really like the katana class, so I'm not going to grab that for her, but this would be actually... You know what? Actually, I'd grab this for Ruka because Ruka can't really afford to keep using her plank. So let's actually do that instead. The plank is cool, it did a big hit, but we want her to have more dex. And this is a model reflated blade. We can eventually replace this, so we're just going to sell it. So she has a ninja weapon now. Not the greatest for her skill set, but hitting with a fast weapon lets you raise dex, and we can worry about raising strength later. You know, I didn't double check, but even though it's morning as opposed to night, don't believe Hobbs showed up. None of this looks like it's changed, so let's just get out of here. Well, let's look around and we'll look for trouble. This is how we're going to advance rather than mining. And we don't have any gear yet because we haven't won a fight. It would be... Yeah, and so this is the fast speed thing. Toriel is just way faster, so she's been running around longer. But that's fine. I don't think Hobbs would change bars, but we could look. He's supposed to be at the hub, he just isn't. Let's see if we could use this as an excuse to raise thievery. We could have her talk to the merchant. You just hang out there for a second. You sneak. Can we hold you there so you don't... Can you stay in there and not leave, please? Okay, I have to take Bodyguard off. Don't steal, just hang out. You can sneak if you want to. Cool. We want to pick up this shit off the floor, but we want to see if we can find a spot where we're not being observed, so we can kind of raise our thievery. Then that could be we could have a better time stealing next time. Alright, we want to get back in that sliver of blue observation. You can steal the dust switch. Now this, in theory, should be stealable. Alt key, let's steal. Okay. So there you go. Got a dust witch, it's food, and thievery got some XP, but we need more than that to level up. Fortunately, we can't move too... Oh, they weren't being observed. Why did the alarm get raised? Alright. Get our block on, take hold off. Just, take sneak off, run your ass out the door. Just run. We don't need to get our ass kicked by them. Hoping that they just forget your wanted crime eventually. Ruka is gonna get our ass kicked, probably. Well, this isn't the ideal place to get our ass kick fight, but let's go do that then. We're just gonna live with the consequences at this point. Hopefully Luca doesn't lose a limb. So even with 20 block, these guys are too strong to even like defend against. So, okay, cool. We got unconscious as opposed to... Well, she's dying. But she's unconscious, so hopefully she'll wake up in time to manage her. This should be recoverable. I don't remember how long I started. I forgot to check when I started the stream. But I wanted to show this getting your ass kicked and bleeding in the sand is how you improve at Kenshi until the day when you're on the other end of it. And then generally when you're on the other end of it, you have the tools to stay on the other end of it. I don't know. So she advanced from being unconscious to dying because she was bleeding on her stomach, so now we're waiting to die. So this is a lost state. Go back to the autosave. So we got lucky. They were using they're cutting weapons, not blunt. This is why you want to train on starving bandits, but I'm trying to get through fast and I'm making stupid mistakes. Alright, so now we're back at... okay, so now she's not healing as much. Well, let's see if we get Ruka's speed up a little bit. Because she was not able to keep pace with Toriel. I mean, she's also wearing more gear, but really the problem is the lack of athletics, for the most part. And there's one class of shoes that you could buy that increases your speed, but generally the more you're boosting your stats, the less you're training your skills. So you don't have the shoes, and I can't show them off. Never mind. Actually, we still got the merchant tab open. Let's just buy the katana again, because still. Cool. Yeah, let's go outside and have Ruka cook the meat. Don't have our own place in town, so we can't really do that here, so let's see. Where am I blanking on building? Is it B? Alright, B. Campfire. Too close to town. There's unfortunately a radius of not being able to build on town, so we have to kind of go out of the way to find a place to cook. Is this far enough? That's not far enough. Great. Is there a fire in any of these, like there's some people squatting in like the ruined buildings. I'm trying to see if anyone has a fire. I don't remember offhand. Here we go. Can I use this fire? Yeah, I could use this fire. Okay, well, we'll just use this because I don't want to go 1,000 miles out of the way just to cook the meat. So, let's see if I can actually click on the cooking station. So, adding it to a fire adds it to its own inventory. Meat goes in, input, comes out, dried meat. But dried meat is edible meat. Why is this not going all the way in? Alright, well, we'll wait for you to be finished then. But this is more than enough meat to keep us going for a while. And we'll just plop it wherever and we'll arrange it. Okay. Is your leg healed up? Leg's healed up. Alright, since we buggered the last attempt, let's, so now we have food. We're healed up. Double check if Hobbs. Doubt it changed because we went back, but why not? Let's check it out. You're not Hobbs, not Hobbs, not Hobbs. You're Logan again? Yeah. why we're getting Logan instead of Hobbs, because that is extremely unhelpful. Like, Hobbs just isn't spawning. Maybe it's a mod that's messing with it, I don't know. He should eventually spawn at some point, it just isn't today. Are these bandits? Because then that's what we need to be fighting. Cool, starving bandits, that's what we're looking for. Just in case we somehow screw this up, we shouldn't be able to go into a dying state while fighting them because they have blunt weapons. So this should be our way to fight. Just make sure they're off block. We're gonna go off block this time. Let's wait for Ruka to catch up. Sure, we're on regular time. Alright. Now we're gonna try to show cheesing a little bit. This guy's already got a swing up, so I walked into that. We don't have as high speed, so it's a little harder. So he took a swing, but you could move out the way and reset your animations. Unfortunately, since we're fighting a bigger group, they can queue more attacks than we can, but they're queuing attacks. We can come out, step out of the way. He swung, we can get a swing in. He blocked. They're queuing up attacks. We want to be out of the way. This guy missed. This is how you cheese Kenshi a bit, but I really want my stats to go up rather than me cheese. That's how I prefer to play. I'm saying these are options you can do. You don't have to do anything I'm doing. This is just a general description of how things work. So this is a thing you can happen here. She woke up before the fight was over and also went into negative consciousness because of that stat. So didn't get a chance to heal. You could sometimes get a chance to heal. Oh, she's playing dead. Well, now that they're walking away a little bit, we can try to medic ourselves. If I had left myself on sneak, I could have first aided myself more. But like I said, put your air mask on before you help anyone else. Just in a rule of thumb. So she's stable enough. We can go get Ruka up so that way she's getting up faster. So we really just want that. So she's essentially stable, but any more health we get will, improve her time spent unconscious. Did we spend all of our... No, we still have some first aid kit. Oh, wait. She spent her first aid kit. So we will trade with Ruka because Ruka is unconscious and can't apply the med kit. Actually, let's grab some of that meat while we're at it. We're gonna have to buy more med kits from the guy. But we're trading medic, we're trading toughness. They got a couple hits in, so their melee attack's getting up a little bit. Now I don't think she was... No, she did have skill in katanas. She just, they were more dudes than us. And to beat a bunch of dudes, you have to have the strength to fight. You have to have more strength than, I would say 3 of those dudes roughly to really kind of get a chance with the number of dudes we had. But having Hobbs there would have helped a little bit, but until we take our licks, you're not going to advance in Kenshi. And, but rather than... maybe we should go rest up before we go anywhere. I want to go adventure a bit so you guys can see more of the map, because I'm not really showing you that much of the game, really, unfortunately. So it's a good thing we didn't. Dust Bandits are a tougher fight than, what do you call it, than the Hungry Bandits, but, if you can get these guys to fight, you stopped bodyguarding, that's great. I forgot that I had changed that. But, if you can get the Shek guards to fight those guys, you can steal their gear, and they have a good way. Nope, they're gonna fight by the bar. Maybe the bar will fight them. What do you want, guy? So he's trying to hold me up, but he followed me into the bar, which isn't the great. Let's tell him to fuck off. Now, we have guys to fight for us, so we're gonna block. and, well, doesn't matter if you don't block the hit. But we're unconscious. Hopefully this guy won't get up before we have a chance to loot him, because he's got some starter gear. We could take his shit. We have rags, we have nothing for defense, really. Where's Ruka? Ruka is not moving, because that would be helpful. Let's get her out here. I mean, that guy's not going to beat the bar. Hopefully they're not taking too much of their shit. He's probably patching up. Ruka's here. I would trade with, I mean, I would go fight those guys with her, but I want her to grab a med kit and heal up Toriel. So let's grab 2 of those, and you can do your first aids. But we gotta balance that head wound, so she'll get up faster. We're going to sneak just so people don't get pissy as much. I don't want to steal from them. I want to take this guy's stuff. So here we go. Here's a saber. Sabers, see, has lower attack, but it's got defense bonus. I want her to have the horse chopper, which I think is the name of the weapon, but it's saber. This is probably like the worst kind of saber, but it's model refitted blade, so it's at least a higher rank. So now it's worth it to say she has taunt because she's got a defense bonus to her regular attacks, and she's beefier anyway, so she's more suited to be a tank than let's say Toriel. Sure, give her. See, he's got standard grade. He must have been like the boss lieutenant. Well, the Drifter's pants are pretty good. We'll grab these for Toriel, because Toriel is wearing rags, which are dog shit. And we got our samurai boots. Plated long boots. It's heavier, so we'll be slower, but we could also just give hand-me-downs to Toriel, since Toriel has nothing for equipment. So she can have these, she can have this. And you can sell those pants. Now that she has a one-handed weapon, even though it's bigger, it's still a one-handed weapon, I believe. I think. We could give her the sword, which is at least better than the pipe, so we're advancing slowly but surely. Now we can go into, well, let's get off sneak, and we go into live time. We can sell the rag pants because they're crap. We don't need it. Let's see if we can loot these guys now. Right, well, now that we're less inclined to be screwed, we can go back and fight the bandits. She can get some skills. Although we don't want to taunt for NPCs, we want to taunt for Toriel. Saruka's getting hits in. So they're using the 2 attack slots here. You can get up to 3. Do you have a crossbow? Yeah, we got a crossbow guy here. So there is range combat. You need crossbows and you need bolts. But let's help the guards now. Saruka's getting stats. She's getting beefy. You won't be able to see it the amount of time that I'm going to be playing Kenshi, but if you get enough stats for it, you get like absolutely ripped. And yeah, here's the crossbow ammo. But we could grab this stuff and sell it. You know, we don't have an armor slot here, so now we got our Mad Max shoulder blade stuff. Some of this crap isn't really that exciting, but again, Toriel has nothing, so we could go trade with her. So Ruka's holding her head because her head's HP is really low, but she's at least conscious, and she was able to get some hits and level up a little bit. So okay, we got headpiece. Better off having if you're gonna, these are heavy, so I mean if you're gonna bother wearing heavy, you want higher quality stuff, because otherwise the weight kind of is unworth it in my opinion. But also with ranged weapons, you can have that as your primary, and then this toggle allows you to use your backup weapon, so you're attacking in melee, and if things are in your face, you'd probably prefer to be in melee than the other way around. That's the other bandit. He's got a horse chopper. Oh. Can we fit that? Because well, we should sell it. If we had a better quality one, I would take that over the Ninja Blade. But this is, you know, grayed out. No better stuff? Alright. Alright. While you're carrying the person, you could still... Oh, I thought you could trade with them. I guess you can't for some reason. Okay, you could load up inventory on people who aren't in your party that way. Did I pick up the... Oh. I thought I picked up a piece of armor for that I already gave her, I guess. Never mind. Let's sell some of this crap and pick up what we're missing. Sorry for the level of deorganization here. So we'll sell that. Sell this. Sell this. Sure, it'll arrange. Better money is kind of leveling off. We're not really worrying about crossbows now. It's a whole thing to have someone train a crossbows, but you'd want that eventually. We're just not doing that right now. Alright, you don't have anything I wanted in there. Okay, cool. So she needs an armor piece. You're unconscious still? Yeah, I know. Shoddy grade, shoddy grade, shoddy grade. Well, in the absence of having any better options, might as well. And then we can take another horse chopper to sell. Don't have any backpacks, so unfortunately this could take a while. We could pick him up. He's got a full bag. We can kind of loot him up. Yeah, I guess we can't do that today. Well, we can drop him in there and then steal his stuff afterwards. Yep, have another horse chopper. So, unfortunately with the way the gray text is on top of that, I can't read that. But you can see the sword is different color, but it's the same class of sword and they have different stats. So that's cutting 4.7, 3.9. So this is a better quality version of that. Maybe I would have preferred not to sell that, but oh well, whatever. We have options, it's fine. Alright, okay, I picked up the shoulder piece. Here you go. Don't have a shirt slot, she already came with that, so we don't have a replacement for that. The bandit guides don't have one, so... we can put that bandit down, and we can loot his crap. Yeah, I'm just gonna load her up on some of the meats, so we have more room to loot stuff. This would be more efficient. That's enough to loot. Alright. Loot. You've got another sword, that's crap. I can fit a headpiece there. Alright. Well, this is a way to money, so we're getting it. So even if we had bought like the guy who was like 6,000 cats, he wouldn't be like advancing our team to the point of which that he would really be worth the cost of onboarding him, which is why it's just nice to get the story characters for either free or cheap. There are people who are cheap that you can find sometimes if you're lucky that cost like 500 cats, but they have like absolutely nothing to offer. But if you're just starting out, it's not like you're not raising your own character skills either, so I mean, take what you can get. But hey, money. Don't sell the one I'm wearing, because that would be stupid. Alright. This looks like this has a backpack on it and stuff. These are animals owned by the traders or nomads. Don't know where the rest of them are. They seem to have wandered away from their pack. It's possible to like quarantine these guys out to places and attack them, and you could raid their stuff in like that backpack, but that is more trouble than I'm currently looking for. Ruka can't even, what do you call it? She's holding her head, she's like injured, it's not worth the trouble. Alright, well, we'll come back for that shit later. Now, if we had more active characters, we wouldn't have to be doing this. We could leave a guy here and trade out for a little bit further, but because we're low on manpower, we don't really have that option. Is this one of the better ones? This is one of the better ones. Alright, maybe we can give this to... It's... Saber, in my opinion, is a better weapon class than Katana. Katanas are faster, but you can get up to the attack speed of them with this, so it's not the worst thing ever. Ruka's the better fighter, so she can just keep the better sword. Get rid of that stuff. Range. Okay. Grab more crap. More crap, more money. And eventually we'll find another better quality piece that we can swap down on her, and it would be an advantage. Boots fit? Yeah, boots fit in that spot. Oh, I could have took the sword. No, let's take the sword. It's more money. And we might, if she wakes up beforehand, I'm gonna... Oh, she's... Who's fighting who? The trade ninjas. What the fuck are you doing here? Why are you just fighting in the... Oh, whatever that was about, he's getting his ass thrown out. Sell it, please. Thanks. Trade. Did I already... Oh, I already gave her a horse chopper. But this is... Did I already replace it? This is the crappy one. Oh. I did that already and somehow didn't remember that I'd done it. Yep, don't worry guys. Organized thoughts. Definitely don't have just, my brain's a sieve and thoughts just go away. I don't know what you're talking about. Can I just go? Okay. I wanted to be over just so slightly so I could actually just arrange. Fortunately, you can't arrange while you got the stupid thing open. Let's see. She's in recovery coma, which could take however long it takes, I guess. It's the number ticking back up from negative, but it's just a pain in the ass to get there. So now we're up to 7,000. That's enough to buy that house. About, I think it's 7,200. But we need a little bit more cash, and there's still some cash lying on the floor, essentially. So this is admittedly a bit tedious, but this is money we barely had to earn. So, works for me. I forget if there's a way to just transfer that from, yeah, out of trading range. Great. It'd be really nice if she would just wake up. Alright, rather than make 2 trips, we're just gonna pick this guy up. Oh, that's a different guy, that's why it confused me. Got my own guy to just hang out. We can have our high five on the just abducting dudes club. Alright, let's drop this guy down. Loot, please. Show me what you've got. Okay. Now we made a bunch of money. We're unfortunately going to spend some of it because we're going to throw Toriel on bed because she's taking forever to wake up. I don't remember if hub beds are cheaper than Squin, but I think the type of bed is more or less what determines the cost. Oh, I didn't see the charge. Is this a public bed? No. Doesn't say. Alright. Well, if they're not going to charge me, I will take the rest. But she should wake up a lot faster there. Well, might as well also sleep Ruka, because Ruka is heavily injured in their head. 50 for a bed, so this is cheaper. If you can make it here, I guess you might as well. So now we have to have the exciting time of fast-forwarding and waiting for the health bars to rise. So you could see it move. This is pushing out, and the dark part is moving out, but until then, you're kind of like, eh. You really want to take this to the point of at least buying that house and showing you how to fix that, because you at least have to be able to buy the materials. I guess since we're here, we can keep an eye on the first floor and see if Hobbs ever shows up. Why the hell Hobbs won't show up, I don't know still. Why this person has 6,000. It must probably be because of a mod I have installed, I guess. I don't... You could kind of preview their stats. She does not seem like she has that much going on. I don't know why. She isn't... I think she's like wants 6,000 cats, which is ridiculous. Like, even a strong person, quote unquote, will like have like even like getting towards 20 stats will get their ass kicked. You want to like to really kind of have a sense of you can go places without really being interrupted. You want at least one character with like, you know, toughness or like 20s all across the board, or a high stat of like 40 or whatever. Really feel like you can go anywhere you want kind of thing, or have the athletics to outrun your problems. But then that gets into a thing of probably shouldn't start with heavy armor, but if you can make do while doing it, you are getting used to the... Oop, there was something happening out here. Were you fighting? Who's escaping here? Is this a different ninja group? The Nomads are running away from who? Who are you guys running away from? Oh, they seem pissed off about something, but I don't know what it was. They left their dog behind. Could be a dick and fight their dog, and then just sell its hide for more money. Oh. Ruka's still healing up a bit. Toriel needs to train with sabers. Sorry, dog. So that was a big whack. Who's raising the alarm? On what? Who did you piss off? Because get out of the bar, because the bar people shouldn't care about the Nomad's dog. She came out because I bodyguarded her, but it's fine. The bar did not attack. I don't know why it said alarm raised, but whatever. Does she have a med pack on her? You do. You can have multiple people healing the same person if you want, or themselves. Not a clean fight, but toughness is 12 now. Dexterity is going up slightly because you only got a couple of hits. The fight didn't last very long. Beyond even so kidnap, it's unconscious. The person's not going to fight back. If you have high assassination skill and sneak, you could walk into the bar and you can just knock someone out, and when they're knocked out, they can't really give a crap that you're stealing from them. So you could end up just stealing like the shirt off of someone's back in the bar and then selling it to the barkeep, because generally they're not from the faction they're assigned to. Sorry, there are things there like that in Kenshi that are dumb that you can do and probably wouldn't be accepted in the real world, but you know, like Kenshi is not in the real world. You know, not even like a Fallen Earth thing. I haven't really panned around the map a lot, but there's like, you got your three suns kind of thing, like alien world, multiple planets in the distance. So yeah, there you go. You got two right there. So at least be like, the setting is not Earth and it's not meant to be. Alright. What is going on with this guy? So you got some of your wonk physics here. It's just trying trying to figure. It's a matter of interpretive dance. He's just on parade. I don't know. That's a bit jank. But there's good shit here. Don't get me wrong. You're a vagrant, you're a Barthog. I can talk to you, but why? I don't remember particularly what you have to do or say. They gave me ... face. Riveting. Alright, so we got fairly advanced from that. Slightly, we got money, we got some skills. Probably still not enough to beat Starving Bandits, just the two of us. So let's go explore. I want to try to show you some other things so I can talk about, you know, different races and story and whatnot. So let's... should we go towards the desert? Yeah, let's go to this valley. That's where I want them to head. And because this is going to be a longer journey, we want to put them... Oh, we didn't put them on follow speed. I want them to sync their speeds. Alright. Speeds are synced. Oh, here's the Nomad Caravan. Usually I think there's a guy over here. Oh, they're hostile to us probably because we killed one of their dogs, but hopefully they don't attack. Hopefully they're not hostile enough to just attack us on sight. Hopefully they just let us go. Some of the other caravans you can trade with, but they seem pretty pissed off right now, so we'll just leave them alone. We got the money for that building, but just going back, you could spend a lot of time just going back and forth between two places, getting stronger to explore the world. Like, this is your tutorial zone, more or less, if you start here. One of these... Oh, Stack is a different town. Yeah, let's check out Stack. There's a couple of ruined, like, buildings you can find somewhere out here. I don't remember the exact spot, but you can, like, find free gear and get, like... That's another way to get some decent weapons. Usually they spawn, and there might be some research material to start with, like, just the basic books that you could buy pretty cheap. Definitely one of the ways to advance in the game is just to make money. But I want to show some of the fun of being like, it's like, well, you have to set your own goals in this game, so what is there to do, right? One thing I like to do is I eventually like, you know, training to beat Goku and get as strong as I can, and then I want to fight the Holy Nation or the United Cities, because the United Cities are kind of, because they help support the slave trade. So they're kind of icky that way. And the Holy Nation is... Let's see. What faction is this even? Yeah, here you go. Holy Nation. Holy Nation is such a great and lovable faction because they're... Well, okay, I'm trying to be sarcastic. They're a bunch of dicks. They're easy to hate. They don't like anyone who doesn't look like them, which means any other race, especially skeletons. They also kind of hate women to the sense that they're just like, women are second-class citizens in their, you know, society, and they don't like you, so that's why I picked a lady for the tutorial. Just to be fun, even though she's, you know, a human race or whatever, so that's something they're supposed to care about more, but not necessarily will. So Ruka is not human, so we're going to have her hang back a little bit. Think they should still be fine with her being a woman. She's Greenlander, that's their race. But they hate robotics to the point of which, if you have a leg off, and you could theoretically put a prosthetic leg on so you could walk around and even just walk, they will attack you for having that fake leg on. So they want you to crawl like God intended. So fuck the Holy Nation. So it says they want to. This is just a bag check. Show your gear, fine. Don't have any drugs, so they're here to stop you from selling drugs. if the place has a Shinobi Thieves hideout or whatever, you could sell drugs to them. But this is a much bigger town than Hub, right? They have different kinds of gear. Sheiks like their big heavy gear usually. That's a steam bun place. What shop is this? It's a merchant shop. This has gears on it, but they, like as I said, they don't like high-tech stuff, so that's not a robotic shop. If you're got a group of Greenlanders, you could rent out some of these buildings, but I would much rather live with the Sheik over these people. They suck. What is this one? Headgear shop? It's like the hat shop. I don't have the best headgear on right now, but I have headgear. I want to see if we can find a shirt. They might have a shirt. They probably have, like, some armor shit I could still get at check stealing at night. But we haven't been trading our stats for that, so let's just see what they got. See if they'll sell me anything. Yep. So let's see, we got chainmail sounds appealing, but the value is this chainmail costs more than that house that I want to get. So let's try to find just a cheap shirt. I don't think we can get black leather. I think you have to make that yourself. And some of these things have different stats. Part of the thing that's interesting to know is there's a stat here called coverage. So this doesn't have sleeves, so it has some sleeves, but they're not like full arm length sheaves. So that affects the hit rate of if you take a blow to left arm, you're getting 90% damage reduction as opposed to like the full armor value. Like, the more your stuff is covering, the more protection you get. There's some of these pants that like are ripped on one side, so like that other leg is completely exposed. But some people like having gear that has some limbs exposed, so they can try. Like, if you get to a point where you're pretty advanced, you can try to lose a limb on purpose to replace it, so you can have a stronger fake leg. And here's the no, that's not the cloth pants. That's not what I was looking for. It panned out. I thought they were the speed boosting shoes. Alright. Rusty chainmail is cheapish. No, that's not. This is shoddy grade, so that's a lot cheaper. We just want something for now, so let's just try to find something that's cheap. It's 1,000, the smallest we're gonna get away with. Yeah. Yeah. Blunt resistance. Well, this is kind of crap, but it's a basic piece of equipment. We can afford it. Whatever, we'll buy it. Cool beans. Is there anything here I can, even worth stealing, so I can try to recoup some of this money? No, he could see me anyway. So now we have a shirt. It's kind of layered underneath. But I mainly wanted to come here to talk about Holy Nation. I was hoping to remember where the hives were, so you could see what the basic limbs were, like replacements work. So we're gonna try to head towards up this valley. Nope, not fast forwarding. That's part of the problem. Cool. Link them back up. You can go back on Bodyguard. Cool. The cool thing about being Bodyguard is if like one person sneaks, they'll sneak together, kind of thing. Can you do that without going into town? Cool. Since we changed equipment, let's just give this a little boost in case we run into any wildlife. Certain wildlife will leave you alone after they knock you out, but other stuff will just like outright snack on you and kill you, so we want to at least keep some forward momentum going here, so we're not looking to just die. And I would say that a proper tutorial would have probably taken some editing. So that way I could have shown just like some cuts or whatever, but I'm showing what the experience of actually playing Kenshi is like. Alright, getting close to that valley. So this is still on the outskirts of Holy Nation stuff. Let's see if we can hard cut across, because this seems like this is more Holy Nation than I remembered. So Oaken's the god of their religion or whatever, so you're going to see a lot of that stuff in Holy Nation areas. Just trying to get out of like the lowland stuff. I think at a certain point after we buy that house, I might just do a quick cut to like a different save where I've got more shit built up. And I could talk about like, you want to do mods for fun and to save yourself some time, because swimming is a stat you can raise. Fun note is, some of the water is acid. This water's fine. That's one of the perks of being different races. So skeletons are fine with acid, but they can't swim, they just sink. If you have replacement limbs, you lose the ability to swim. You will just sink. You'll do your Pirates of the Caribbean thing and just be like a dead weight. And skeletons are fine doing that, but, you know, everyone else isn't. Could you stop spreading out, please? And you immediately do it again. Great. This isn't a speed thing, they're just deciding to path to different spots for some reason. I guess because of the water, I don't know. Maybe because she's got heavier boots on, I don't know. But, more farms. I would say also that I have to show that, like, I have a functional base on my main save. It's not the prettiest, and I built it on a hill, and I'll show that you really want land that is flat to build on, so that way, like, you're not constantly fighting, affecting the geometry and the pathing, because anything you build is not part of, like, the kind of pathing map that they've already established. So that's not the greatest. Alright, let's pop out of the valley now. Also, on the subject of building bases, the stuff where, you know, Incest Reviewer is talking about, you gotta show up for prayer day or whatever. Wherever you settle will determine a lot of the events that you have here. So this is a lot of the Holy Nation stuff, so you'll get prayer day from them. If you go back down here by Squin, this is more Shek territory, they will come by and just be like, if you want to be near us, you've got to be strong, because we care about strength. They don't like, are these river raptors? This could be a bad idea to fight river raptors, but we'll give it a shot. We are still weak babies, and we also probably want to spread out a little bit. We're still on top of each other. Run away. I'm gonna stop micromanaging after I spread them out. I just don't want them to be on top of each other, because you can get hit together. Oh, we got hit in at least. The fights. It is happening. Alright, so that leg is fucked, so now running away is not really an option. I was thinking about it, but... Oh, we got 2 down, so we're kind of making it. Oh no. Well, in a squad of 4 of these guys, we took out 2 of them. So before we do that, let's put on sneak, so that way when we wake up, we will be playing dead. And then we could still kind of come out ahead with looting the spoils here. So, not the worst fight, and that'll push us probably back up above 7,000. Maybe we'll just head back down to Squin since we had a rough time of it. So unconscious goes into recovery coma. Alright, we skipped that, great. So you can patch yourself up while playing dead. Although, did we just use up all of our medkit? Yeah. Let's push this on lifetime. Trade. So we're going off of playing dead. Grab the medkits, please. Are you patching yourself first? Actually, I want to make sure you're patching her up so that she's at least going to wake up. Alright, she's at least stable. Someone killed all the wolves in one of those dens. That's what that notice was. NPCs will fight if they run around. Like, the world is simulating while we're not interacting with it. It might not be rendered, but it's simulating. Is that because my arm bled out before I was able to do anything about it? Or you're back to playing dead? Why? Can you stop being an asshole and patch yourself up? What the hell that was about? You're healing Ruka, which is cool and all, but your arm and leg are fucked up and you're the only one awake. Please patch yourself. Oh, it's because it's negative, that's why it was taking a while. Unfortunately, it won't sustain the other leg until afterwards. So it's all negative. Now it's back into a kind of a positive. Alright. Do we have enough medkit to just use it up, I guess? Now we have to buy medkits again, so it's a bit of an expense. I might have to pay attention to my dog here in a sec. She wants to go out, I think. You gonna go out, pup? Did you use the medkit? Use the medkit. Alright, that's Ruka. Yep, that's all used up. So let's loot these. So Tainted Meat is gross. You can still eat it if you have a hiver. Hivers don't care. That's another weird tiny race perk for them. I don't think it even really sells for anything. I don't remember. Yeah, it's not worth the sell value, so I'm not going to take it. Going to risk walking my dog while sending them back to town. We'll make a save here in case that doesn't work. Hold on, dog. We want to go to Squin. Alright. But we'll have a lot more strength and whatever else by then. Don't really need to worry about sneaking, I guess. Our sneak skill isn't that great. It's yes anyway. BRB. And I'm back. As you can see, no fast travel in Kenshi. Let's see where we ended up in the map. We're still in Holy Nation territory. Fortunately, we can't really get Ruka into town with in any of these Holy Nation spots since they racist. My leg is slowly healing, so hopefully this will start going faster eventually. Let's see what's going on with our stats, though. Strength is going up. Oh, are we... No, I ate food. That's what that message was. Ruka is critical, but alive. Her arm is, unfortunately, bleeding out, but I am out of medkits. Maybe it's worth it to grab a medkit from stack at the rate we're going. Going to have to stash Ruka's unconscious body long enough to be able to buy a medkit. Although it's nighttime, so the store's not going to be open. Well, maybe time we get there it will be. Would she be conscious if I put her down, though? Maybe that's slowing us down. Nope. Sometimes it's weird if the person you're holding won't really like count as regaining consciousness until they're off your shoulder. Gotta be worried that someone will try to attack us, though, but until we get to where we're going, there's not much we can do. We've come pretty far out the sphere of taking your time out and training up in the interim space of the hub and squin is where I would say you really should focus on like taking a slow, safe start. Be sure it would be nice if that leg got a bit better. As far as I know, you can't just lose an arm without taking the another damage hit to it. So as long as we can get a med on her before she takes another hit, I don't think she'll lose any of the arms. And if she does, we'll have to get a replacement. But we are not really of a level of wealth or income gain to really deal with that right now. So it'd be better to avoid it. Is this a farm thing, or is this ruined buildings? Ruined buildings. And my dog's on my computer, on my keyboard. Doglet. She had to go out to pee, and she saw a dog out there, and it ruined her day. She couldn't imagine how terrible it was to see another dog. Oh. Almost a stack, unfortunately. There's no other real places to go. I mean, I don't think you could buy stuff at the Holy Farm. Maybe you could get food if they would be willing to sell it. I'm not sure. Fortunately, we needed more healing than I provided us. I think last time I looked we had like 4. We just don't know. The dog's on the keyboard again. Okay, well, we're getting there. Not getting there fast, but we're getting there. It's a random traveler. What is this person doing? Lost drone. He's got no faction. I will not be able to catch him, but he could have had supplies on him, but we're not going to catch up to him, so he's gone. So he's a hiveless hive. I mean, the race of bug people are called hive, that's why. No easier way to describe that, unfortunately, even though that's off-putting to be like, that hiveless is hive. I mean, that hive is hiveless. That's how you would say that. We need to stash her somewhere near the town. At least we're almost near the town. Let's try to get towards that rock, I guess. And our faction is nameless. Alright. It looks like she's conscious, though. Maybe this will go faster if you are walking. Her arm is fucked, though. Will this go faster now that they're both up? I mean, she's still limping, unfortunately, but Toriel has to be the one to go in to work the shop, so unfortunately, that's how it's gonna have to be. And her arms are screwed, so she can't lift her, as far as I would know. That wouldn't make sense, so it shouldn't be possible. Alright, you go hang out there. Oh, let's take off our bodyguard, or she'll leave her spot. We might as well have her be sneaking so she has some level of not getting attacked by random passerbyers. Now, this town would not be available to us if we didn't have someone who, you know, they didn't like the cut of their jib. Cool, heretics, blah blah blah, religion, get it. Cool. Interesting stuff. Maybe a bar would be the fastest way to, well, mercantile shop might be fine. It's closer, from what I can see. Oh, there was a bar there. Alright, well, got other places to go. Well, there's a bar right behind this, so we got 2 shots at it. Just need some health kits. Health kits. Send health. Let's buy all of them, basically. We'll sell the hides to make up some of that money we lost. So we got a bit of a loss there, but we're gaining in skills. Yeah, smarter religious book stuff. Just curious to see what this sell value is. 45 versus 20. Yeah, it'd be worth it just to cook it. Alright. Good enough. Are these nomad cows or are they wild cows? These are wild. But if we get into a fight and Druka gets knocked out, we do not have access to a bed. Oh, we can make that Toriel's problem. Make some quick cash. So by making them aggro, we could kind of fuck off and let the guards take care of them. Well, might as well get some weapon XP. Oops. Just doesn't like that one spot. Alright. So, more money. Because we are broke. Can we arrange that a little bit so we can get the tusks, or... Yeah. See if we can get a couple of hits in for some XP. Oh, he went down. He probably has better gear than us. Can we end up, like, getting out of this without them seeing us somehow? Well, they could see us, but I'd rather steal some shit. Cloth pants aren't great. I've been fine before I saw that. Hacker's better at attack than Saber is. This is a heavy plate. I don't really want to mess with. Would it be better to wear this over that? What is the weight comparison to that? 3 grams versus... it's not really worth added risk beyond just grabbing that med pack. And see if they're too pissed off dealing with that bowl and get back to the shop before they get really pissed. Ooh, didn't hit me, cool. Oh no, they saw me take that med kit. That was extremely unworth it. It was fine until we took the med kit. Shit. Shit, I fucked that up. Alright. I helped you guys attack the bulls. So they would lock us in jail. It's a whole thing. It's not worth the time loss. You could do these things. You could experience the fun of going in and out of jail. It's annoying and time consuming, and I already wasted time dealing with that, and the bulls probably aren't even gonna frickin' spawn and come back through by the time I'm done buying the medkits again. So that was a complete waste of time, sorry. Got greedy and punished, so oh well. Dude didn't even have anything that was worth looking at him. That reminds me of a thing I've kind of forgot. NPCs in factions tend to like only really go up to a certain quality of gear, and these guys aren't even like wearing like full paladin gear. They're just, their stats are good because they're the city guards, but their gear is generally seemingly pretty shit, and that generally also seems to hold true of their patrols. Oh, there's the bulls, but this time the bulls are going on like the pathing away from the town like they should be. So I guess their pathing got fucked up before. Alright, fix up her arms, please. This is gonna take a bit of healing because she had a lot of blood loss. Oh, god damn it. Okay, do you wanna sneak away, and then maybe we can let the guards handle these because that's too many guys for us to deal with right now. Go back to lifetime, please. Toriel's still too stricken with injury to really do much. Did the guards come out? Alright, the guards came out. So, bearing that in mind, let's patch ourselves up and jump back in there. They are going to take them to jail like they were going to do with me. So, we have to be quick in order to grab something off the bandits. Let's put this on the bottom. I think the pipe is the only thing that's really worth anything. I'll throw this shit on the ground just because. Is that the only guy they left me? Oh, there's some more. This is a better pipe than the one I'm using. Oh, this guy's playing dead, so he's not gonna let me steal from him. Or no, I did. He was bitching about nothing. Alright, replace that with bars as opposed to... This one's still 0.5. Yeah. Checked him. Checked you. Oh, that's the loincloth, that's not a dude. Alright. Back to giving Ruka first aid. Hopefully Ruka didn't go too close to get noticed. Maybe you should step away further before they just attack us. Oh, back to trying to patch up her arms. So just because it's patched doesn't mean it has started healing. But hopefully it'll start after a bit. Just gonna keep dangling away there. I wonder how many of the medkits this is using up. So we're down to, what, 3 out of the 5 we bought. Well, let's go sell these pipes to try to make up some of that money. Ruka can stay stealth there for now, hopefully they won't get attacked in the meantime. Would have been better to have those bull hides and the horns, but we will make do with a couple of extra pipes. And we got a better backup pipe for us in case we are forced to use it for some reason. Cool. A small pittance of cats, but better than no income whatsoever, I guess. What is happening down here? Who's fighting who? Did the bandits come back out? Oh, they're fighting the hiver. I don't want to support the racism of it. They're attacking him just because he's a hiver. He's got some kind of pole. He's got no gear. We could profit off that dude's misfortune, but let's just move on. We are inclusive of all races, unlike those people. They suck. Oh, let's go check on Hub again, see if they decided to let Hob spawn again. Yeah, we're crippled anyway. Might as well. Yeah, Ruka can't mine because she's injured, but she's starting to slowly heal. She needs a bed because of the amount of frickin' damage. But she can hold the ore for us even though she can't use it, or use the mining station. We're relatively safe here, so it's actually probably better for them both to get a little time to rest. I'm not gonna go too crazy on this, I just want to have a little bit of extra money when we get there. Justify paying for a bed. And get us back on track onto buying that house. And we still need some slush fund to even buy the repair materials to fix up the house. So we're getting there. We're getting there. What's Ruka's strength at versus mine? So Ruka seems like she actually has less strength than Toriel as the heavy weapons warrior they wanted her to be when they started out with her gear, which is why we replaced it. So she would actually have been better at doing that, but because we're gonna load her up on ore, maybe she'll get her strength up so she can deal a little bit more damage. I just have to take it out of there. Nope. Alright. Let's grab one last piece and then we'll start running down. Inventory. Cool. Great. Back to Hub, please. And you're splitting up again? Why are we splitting up again? At least her leg's patched up enough that she's able to move. Is that a lone bone dog? Is that lone bone dog gonna be a problem for us? Can we attack it? Cannot. It's fighting us now, okay. Ruka still doesn't have access to her arms. So actually, let's move her, sneak and block her away. This is all up to Toriel. Off to a great start. Fucking utterly destroyed from the get-go. And Ruka's arms are destroyed, so she can't lift her if she wanted to. So she'll just sneak on off to the freaking hub by herself. Well, unconscious as opposed to dying, so that's a start. But hey, more toughness. Cool. Toughness 15. Oh, dying straight up. Yeah, the amount of time it would take to recover from this, while theoretically a race against time, due to the amount of annoyance it would do just to be like, I have to put Ruka into bed and get her arm fixed just so she could hold the med kit. Not worth the time loss. Alright. Back to hub, please. Ugh. Negative 300 arms. Can't believe I couldn't patch that bleeding with the medkits I had. But, you know, I didn't buy enough. So generally when you start winning against fights against dudes, you can start to like pilfer small bandages or whatever. So you kind of also sustain off of that. But we haven't really won fights against people, so hasn't gone that way. Oh, almost to the hub. Do 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 do. Not going particularly fast, but I like that she is limping about the speed that Ruka is running. Well, maybe it's giving them a chance to balance out their speed stats a bit. Cool. Where's the bar at? The bar's over here. Dude. Ruka, throw yourself in bed. Holy shit. Okay, if I could keep the thing up long enough. Now that leg isn't great on her either, but should I just wait? Subs here today, it's just Logan. It's always Logan. Is he like taking the spot? She could just chill. I feel like Ruka's gonna take so long to even like reach stasis that it's not even worth putting her in a bed. Like this'll patch up somewhat in comparison to the time it takes to do this. Oh. Can you trade with Ruka without waking her up? Because maybe I could be... Oh, why am I stopping time? Never stop time. Alright, will shift click work now, or... It does not want to work ever for some reason. Why I'm having so much trouble with that, I have no idea. Alright. Let's trade that ore for a bit more medkits, because holy shit. Not having any luck with the medkits. Alright, cool. You don't have anything else really exciting. Trade with Ruka again. Give her a couple of medkits just so she has something on her. Let's let's go find that random fireplace I found earlier. Cook that meat. Loot. Alright. Okay, I can right click that. Alright, we got some meat. She's healing. I think just due to the amount of health that's going, I don't like having to mine for money, but maybe we should go mine for money. Just because we're really waiting for Ruka to recover. We're still, we have enough to actually buy that house. Let's go to, we can take Toriel to Squin while Ruka is recovering. Who are you dudes? Slave traders, so we don't really want them to be pissed off at us, so we will deal with them later. I don't like them, but if they sense that you are weak and then they could collar you, they will. And they will press you into bondage. And at any point you achieve the status of being recognized as a slave, people who, even outside of their faction, who like make money off of it, will attack you. And that's why there's like a bunch of like factions about like runaway slave outlaws and stuff, and it's really hard to shake being a slave even after you escape. I think eventually people forget, and you can like, or you have to go to like a surgeon, because they shave your head and all kinds of other annoying shit. You might have to go to a surgeon to change your character's appearance just to like get hair back, and then be like, well, not me, I was never a slave. Gotta like delete the memory of anyone remembering you were a slave. Alright. It's expensive and we could buy other shit, but we're gonna buy that house. Because that's where I want us to be, so we can show off how you can advance without building a base. This the one? 7,000. Let's buy it. I think it's building materials slash plates. Is it just building house materials? What does it say? Need 24 building materials, of which we won't be able to get all of, but we could start trading at the trader house over here. Pick up some, throw them in there, and then we got to make more money anyway. So let's talk to this dude. Here you go. Building materials. It's all we could fit in our bag anyway. Have money for like one more. So like a meat. Can we arrange just enough space for one more? Would have to sell one to do that. Sell one more. Okay. Drag 3 to the house. This is like the wireframe thing telling us that we are working on building it up. But we'll toss what we got in here. Why did it say 11? Alright, that's built up for as much as we could really do for now. We could buy another material, but let's go do a little mining to bolster our money a little bit. Ruka's arms are still over 100 negative. Or, I mean, they're above, like 100 and negative 84. So, let's look for an ore. Is there a convenient spot for an ore? Here we go. There's an ore. We can go look for a proper bandit fight afterwards, even though the stronger you get, the easier it gets to make money, so we're stuck doing this for now. Oh, wait, is this an iron right next to it? Iron is more money. They're both copper. Alright, never mind. Full speed ahead. And you mine faster the more you mine, but we don't want to be in a career of miners. We want to be warriors. So we did building for sale. We did that already. Don't need basic controls. Someone went by us, but they didn't care about us, so cool. I understand about the machine. They refer to these as machines for some reason. So where are we at with our trading? So we got 3 sabers, melee attack has gone up to 5, melee defense has gone up higher because we've blocked more than we've attacked. So we still got a little bit of dodge, that's cool I guess. Stealth is Athletics has gone up a lot since we started the game. Laboring too, but whatever. Range. So yeah, there's a lot of waiting in Kenshi, and then when you get further into the game, you can name your faction. You can always name your faction, I just didn't care to. Let's see. There we go. We're team noobs for now. But then you can split into different groups. So then you're bouncing around the map, and like when other people are moving, you just like go on the map and you're like, these people are moving to this town trading goods. I'm back at my base crafting and doing micromanaging. There's a lot of things you could do to micro in this game, and you know, that's where you end up doing a lot of things in Kenshi, and then you have like Steph's video where he's talking about his highlight reel of like cool moments. This is a game where you can have cool moments, but there's a lot of this in between then, and the more characters and teams you have running around doing things, the more you get to think about your highlight moments and less about the interim it took to get there. This is the interim it takes to get there. I don't believe I have the ability to sneak very well. I never improved my lockpicking as far as I know. I don't know if there's anything small I can spend it on. Well, we could sell the ore to the inn, even though it's a weird thing to sell to somebody who runs like a bar, a bed and breakfast. Alright, which one of you guys is the barkeep? Did the barkeep fuck off? What is your deal? You're the barkeep today, cool. Take some of my copper, please. Alright. We got some money. What's your deal? So you'll be hired for 3,000. What about you? $6,000 cats is ridiculous. Oh, that was a non-starter for being able to afford that anyway. Alright. Sneak mode. It tried to Naruto run, but my skill... you have to have a certain level of skill to, like, sneak and Naruto run, because you're slower while sneaking, but when you get good at sneaking, you could just move faster by doing that Naruto run animation. Well, this is at least training sneak. I don't think I'll be able to actually break into any shop, but we can sure live the dream. And of course a guard came by here while I was here. I don't know if there's a store or any place that is easier for me to get in and out of. Yes, we could just improve general thievery from, where's this guy from? Oh, he's a Shinobi Thief dude who we'd be friends with if we could afford to join the Shinobi Thieves. Although, now that we bought that house, we could start saving up the 7,000 to do that, but that's probably beyond the scope of what I would want to do here. That is definitely a very heavily encouraged option for people. This 50% thing here is the chance to just knock this dude out. But you know what? 50% to knock this guy out? Way easier than the, 30% it was to steal. I don't think people give a crap if you get away with it. I didn't get away with it, so he cared. So we had a bad roll. It would have been a quick cash dump to just sell his weapon to the barkeep, but oh well. Shit do happen. And we tried. Everyone's loading up at a different spot. Maybe we could steal some food. Is this something I could practice lockpicking on? Too hard to lockpick. So you could pick this shit up and then drop it back down. It is still not owned by us, and I think I can just keep yoinking it back up as long as I'm in shadow here. Alright, let's see what we're at stat-wise on thievery. So now thievery is level 3. Even if we break into the other place like we were last time, we want thievery to be up just so that, like, when you steal from chests and not just the shit that's around, that actually is when your thievery stat comes into play. But if we can get around, that was essentially free of just juggling bowls for a couple of boosts in thievery. 3 is not a lot, but it's more than we had, so whatever, it's an improvement. Fortunately, without the, it seems like without any ability to lockpick, we won't be able to get into these shops, and we'll have to go back to the hub and do the Shinobi thing there to do that, so you would be able to steal from these places if you did that, and we're not doing that right now, so we do need to have that store open to buy more materials, so I guess maybe we'll just go mine instead. Yurika's about to be in positive health, so we're still just kind of wasting time on that. Excuse me. Where did you end up? You stopped moving. Cool. I love it when it stops moving. So that rock was straight out of town? Yeah. So mining, not the most exciting, but it'll get us the money we need to fix up the house at least. And then we could go build a proper bed and stop renting them. Oh, there was an iron mine here. Iron's worth more money than copper, so that's pretty cool. I would have definitely grabbed it. I think it's also heavier, so it's better for training strength. If I had realized earlier, I would have mined this instead. Oh, shit. Oh, that's weighing us down a little bit, but whatever. Maybe just go into block stance because that guy is swinging. This is a bad situation. Try to get some support from the guards. Because this is too many dudes. And I'm already dealing with one injured character. I don't really want to deal with that right now. Can we make it? We might not make it. Fortunately, if I get knocked out beforehand... Are you out of bed? Jesus Christ. No wonder why it's taking so long. Get back in bed. Oh no, what happened here? Did I lose my arm? They severed my arm. How'd they do that with blunt weapons? Okay. Arms are replaceable. But shit takes time. We are not dealing with this right now. There are a world of options, and unfortunately the easiest way to even, like... It's way easier to get, like, replacements, even just if they're shitty ones. It is harder to get arm replacements, especially ones that are worth using. If you have high stealth and thievery, you can basically just go to the place that has those items, that sell them anyway, and you could take them. That's the best way to do that. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way, so we didn't spend the time to raise our stealth and our stuff doing the Shinobi Thieves. That is the easiest way to do that. If we could build our house, we could build our ould training stuff, so we could completely bypass the need. You could even build better and more varied training facilities than the Shinobi Thieves allow you. So it would be really worth our time to do that. Are you wild dogs? You're wild dogs. Alright. Maybe this will be better as a way to get... they are much closer to the guards. And they're factionless, so I would much rather the guards help us out. And now we can also get some skills. Move it? Nope. Yep, you got bit. No. Why are you tanking two of them at the same time? Grab that meat while we can. Oh. Right click. God damn it. I dropped the hide. Let's first aid up. And they've killed the other dog. Try to grab the shit while we can. We need the hides more than the meat. And grab the other meat because why not? Cool, got a full stack. Don't have any drugs, guy, you can check. Alright, let's double patch up because we didn't finish. But we got big damage from those dogs. Now, unfortunately, our melee skills have not gotten very good on defense, but we're getting crap load of toughness. How much attack did these frickin' dogs have? 14? 17? Oh. We're still starting out. Did I run out of medkits again? No, I still have medkits. Why did you stop? Why aren't you medkitting it? I don't understand. I have medkits and it's not doing it. I don't want to split my leg, I just want to bandage my wound. Alright, whatever. Let's sell to the bar. And then maybe we'll run to bed because we're not getting anywhere or limping around. Oh, I was looking at a different character, that's why it was blitz up. Alright. Be worth more if we sold that. Whatever. Could sell the teeth for money, so we're doing that. We can cook the rest of this meat because we're going to end up eating those two short enough time. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just go cook out there and cook. Give us a chance to rest up a bit too. Our leg has some positive health, so it shouldn't be in limp state for that long. Let's see, is this far enough out to build a fire? There are dudes out here right now. Save before I waste that attempt at gaining a little bit of money. Speed more, please. Alright, can I build a campfire out here? Yes. And like that, we have a campfire. You just right click it, it auto adds. Then you gotta loot it though. Cool. And we could dismantle it because we don't need it anymore. Bandits are coming for our ass, so let's run our ass down. I'll take a one-on-one fight if you're gonna fight those guys back there. Blook. And the guards fucked off after one guy and they left. Alright, they fucked off, so we're gonna fuck off more. There are other dudes in the town who will help us. We're gonna take them to the bar. I mean, even one guard should be enough to help us fight out these guys. So let's just turn around and fight. Cool. We won. That guy had no weapon? Or they took the weapons already. Well, let's take the armor then, so we can get some kind of profit. They're probably gonna throw them in jail. I think they throw some of their stuff into like a bin in the guardhouse that you could also rob, but you're like robbing the crap you could pretty much be fighting after a little, or be looting anyway after a little while. But hey, a couple more bucks, cool. Alright, so the stores are open. We could go grab some more building materials for our house. Swing. Are you resting in the bed? You're not resting in the fucking bed. Alright, at this point, we could be working on building the house, so just come to Squin. Rather than spend money on having her rest and then not rest. I think that's because I'm save loading, actually, rather than for any other reason, so that's really my fault, but whatever. Alright. Can we arrange any more space? Nope. I want to keep some of that meat, so we'll just deal with that for now. Build up that house. Oh, someone's fighting. Don't know where that fight is taking place. Just some geometry fail here, don't worry about it. It's starting to look like a house. Needs a second floor though. Let's see, I need a fair bit more. And it's still doing the build animation, so... Alright, and you're done. Go buy more building supplies, of which there won't be enough to finish the house today, but every day you get more shit to the store, so... Gotta buy them to use them, and then we could go to some way stations to try to get more. Would help if we could get a backpack. Just gonna fucking button my house. Alright, we need to find... I think there's a way station out this way. We're gonna head out there. I don't know if they'll let Ruka mine with the level of HP she has right now, but maybe that's what she should be doing, rather. How fucking far out is Ruka? Jesus. She did not get very far since we last saw her. Well, let's just trust that she gets to the town. Let's give this a save, because everyone's going out into the wild, and that's just a chance to lose people. But hey, let's go see if we can see something new. Giving it a shot. Figure out that pathing, I guess. Ruka's going bye-bye. Oh, was Ruka by the, Can you stop rotating long enough for me to do that? Okay. You by the mining thing? Will you let her do that? Yeah, her arms are messed up. Okay. Well, for the time being, you go rest. You're currently useless, so we don't want that to happen for longer than it needs to be. But she can rest in town where we will go back and find her. I should have checked if Hobbs was there, but whatever. I forgot to do that while she was in the hub. Oh well. He hasn't been showing up anyway. The stand is it? Here we go. Here's the way station we're looking for. Now this is a spot where you could potentially get some Shek repair kits and some other building materials and junk. It's also a good staging ground to go fight some stronger bandits once you're established. Let's see, what do you got to sell? So you got plenty of building materials. You got your research books, and you got your plates, and you got stuff. You get blueprints for different things. There's a bunch of different crafting materials. This is a skeleton repair kit you can get, and this is also a skeleton. These are different grades of skeleton kit. We're going to buy as many of these as we can buy, which is unfortunately not many. Yeah, fuck it, let's make the trip worthwhile. We'll sell a couple of meats to get one more. I don't think offhand. Unfortunately, to buy non-story NPCs, you need a lot of cash, unless you can get someone for cheap, but we haven't been having luck with that. I don't think any story people are here. He's a tech hunter anyway. Tech hunters do their own thing. Can we get a hiver for cheap? Will you come with us? 3,000 cats, no thanks. He's a tech hunter. Generally, you could hire a drifter if you see them. Some other people are... What do you call it? 3,000 cats, fuck off. You can hire mercenaries sometimes, but we don't really need anything guarded. If you're going to a dangerous place, sometimes you could bother hiring a guard to like walk with you the way there, but or like guard your house if you have a house, but we're not doing that right now. We got extra building materials, but we want to go back to Squin. Cool, her arms are finally in positive numbers. But they could be more positive. And you're stuck on a fucking tree. Get in there. Are you just not going to path there? If I path it manually, will you do it? Cool, great. Yeah, pathing could be a bit of a bitch sometimes. Inside, please. Alright, go add those building materials there. Alright, 18 out of 24. You're still resting. I think we bought out the local stuff, so we'll go back to the way station and grab more. We got the money for it, we just don't have the ability to carry it. Yes, a backpack would be helpful. I mean, even if we get a trader backpack, the combat debuff will just make our skills in combat go up faster. So maybe I should just buy that, but then we don't have the money to buy the building materials, which is the larger issue. Actually, just to get buffed, we might see how well we could do against this group. As long as we don't lose an arm, I think it would be worth it to fight. We're definitely going to lose because there's too many, but let's do it. So she's patching herself up and playing dead. Now this is the ideal way you want to do of playing dead and letting them fuck off while hopefully they fuck off. They're fighting other people on top of me, which isn't great. You could still get hit. Who are they fighting? Crawl's Chosen is a more militant version of the Shrek, who aren't necessarily the nicest dudes. So they're not really our friends. We want to probably get out of here before Krell's Chosen get a chance to ruin our day. Yes, that's alarm stolen. I don't care. Is the guy awake? No, he's not. Then what do you care? Take their weapons, because it's some money. We want to be elsewhere now, so it doesn't matter that they see us. Let's just run back to town, sell those weapons. Make sure we're moving. They are definitely keeping pace with me a little bit, unfortunately. So I am unconscious but recovering. Toughness is going up. That's how it do. Rooket's doing a lot better, so we'll just send her out to patch us up. You're gonna glitch through the geometry there. There you go. Oh no, the dog is on the keyboard again. Okay. Patch her up, please. Cool. That is not fully patched up. You out of medkits? Alright, well, I guess she needs a bed now. But, you know, Ruka could continue the mission of grabbing spare parts for the building while we're doing this. Now she could finally get strength. Oh boy. Strength on a character could actually get hits. Am I not on the bar side? It's on the other side. Yep, it's on the other side. Great. Bar. Throw her in a bed. Okay, cool. Well, we survived, so let's save. Okay. You off to the way station. Let's go. Do 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 do. You're not here for violence while you are just running. Oh, this is Ruka's time to shine, I guess. Nope, they attacked. Nope. She got a couple hits and she got hit. But clubs are worth the most money. They take up less space. Grab them. I think the guards... Oh, they left me one. Are they grabbing everyone? Try to grab this person. He's awake, so he was playing dead. Hey, XP. Range. Get a pair of pants on there, sure. Money! That guy was also playing dead, but he had the misfortune of being hit by a much stronger dude. Well, let's follow the bad guy and see if we can get a bag. Then maybe we can make it 3 feet out of town. Jeez. These larger packs are for pack animals. We're not messing with that right now. You don't have the cool trader backpack or the thief backpack for the less debuff. How much is this? This is cheap at least. Sure. There you go. Could be worth at least getting a couple of extra building materials, and we could always take the backpack off to fight. So it's not the worst, not the best either. And she's healing up bit by bit while we're going. But we shouldn't be looking for a fight, so we won't do that right now. She's patched. She's still resting. Cool. Just checking things out. But it's a chance for Ruka to catch up on athletics and stuff too, so it's not the worst that we're alternating recoveries at the worst of the time here. Also, at least ensures I get to do something. Okay, get inside the building, please. We need building materials. I don't think we can really get any more than that. But hey, it's more than we had. Oh no, 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 don't get out of bed, don't get out of bed. Shit, shit. Please tell me that doesn't count. I don't want it to waste money. Cool, we stopped it from triggering, I think. I wanted to just snap to her spot to move Ruka, but I forgot to click Ruka when I did that. That's easier than having to do the map. Way to save a microsecond. And it would have been the worst thing to spend another 100 cats, but it's annoying. What are you stuck on? You were eating. Okay. So yeah. One of the things we gotta learn about Kenshi is things don't always go the way you want them to. Even if you've experienced success before. Trying to just get ourselves there. If you could go build the house, that would be great. Anything like that, we're one off. Jesus. Well, in the morning, hopefully they'll have, that extra one. Alright, you're rested up too. Okay. Maybe if we both have them go out mining, we could get a little bit of a head here. Bodyguard. Cool. Did someone else piss you guys off? Because you got more bandits on you. Did they have more bandits at the gate? Or did they show up? Because that's a chance for money. No, they've already got the guy. Cool, we can loot their shit. Alright. You wouldn't be bleeding on the gates if you wanted to get away, guy. Oh, they had more fight in them than I thought. I mean, on top of the fact they were probably injured, they were... You know, it's nice to finally have a chance to get a fight where you have even numbers. Can we should be able to arrange that space. Cool. Ruka's bag filled up? No. Okay. Alright. Stuff is sorted out. Let's go sell and buy that building material. Hasn't... Okay, cool. He just opened up. We can go to the trade house. Go to the trade house. Not the trade house there. Shit. I passed it. Where did I pass it? There it was. I know my way around. What are you talking about? Okay, sell the junk. All the junk. I only need one building supply for now.